Thank you for the apocalypse. Thank you for lifting the scales off the eyes of the bride and pulling off that restrainer so they have a hearing ear. Thank you for the hearing ear and the seeing eye, and those that can decode and decipher and discern. Make sure that they take time. Take it. Gotta take time. They try to steal it from you, so you'll spend it here. Careful where you spend your time. They'll merchandise you, and they'll trespass you. So they don't. Father makes evil, so it's here to test to see what you do with your time. To see if you'll lash out and seek vengeance, make somebody pay back. So try to get even. So Father's the equalizer. Father is the separator. He's the divider. Through Shiloh, he's flesh. Father doesn't have flesh. Father is Hokadesh. So thought I'd come in here and see if there's another seeing eye or hearing ear. So the 23 code, it's what they do. Look at that, 2-3 right at that second. I said that, huh? 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So the Cipher, their 23 ritual, they do their satanic masquerades 2.0 of a second 2 will equal 3, like the 7th king is being revealed as the 8th king. So like Revelation, it's a lifting, a removal, right, of the restrainer or the cover. So thank you for Revelation. Thank you for the apocalypse. Are you living Revelation? So it's declared in the firmament, declares the time, the age of air, where the bride will be given the inheritance in the air. Remember the heirs to the throne. He said, let no one take your crown. So if you don't have a crown, you're not going to be given your... Remember, he said his Father's house is a house of many mansions. So you won't be seated. You won't sup, and you won't have a place at the table, at the supper. There'll be a wedding. So he says he'll come quickly like a thief in the night, like a woman in travail. So you should see the signs of Revelation. So only those that he chose, many are called, many go to hell. You, Oligos, find the straight gate, because they're narrowed. They deny the world. He said, come out of her, my people. Do not partake. Be in the world. Be not of it. Do not sup with vipers. Do not cast your... That's a lot of do nots, huh? Yeah, do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. You'll know them by their fruit. Do not judge them by their cover. Judge with righteous judgment. Do not condemn them. He will separate the tares from his teeny tiny flock that are called out at the wedding. They're Shems. Faith is a noun, but you got to put legs. Remember, he said, I want to find your loins girded in my service. Not doing what the world is doing. So, he's not a temple. He just doesn't dwell in houses made by hands or temples or churches or synagogues. He called them the synagogues of the adversary. Anybody who adds a single jot is the adversary to the Hamashiach, the one who hung for his father. Remember, his son, the only begotten son. They declared him the lamb that makes father the ram. So, thank you, Aries. Thank you, fire. Thank you, tabernacle. Thank you, house of rest. He said, I am the Aleph. I am the Alpha. Father of fire. Father is fire. Father is the Habrizo. Father is the separator, that light. The wheat from the chaff. So many are called, but oligos are predestined. They're already enslaved in sin and flesh, and he pulls them from the sin to his light, to his truth. And he does that through a long process. That is the Hados. He said, I am the narrow way. You have to do what he did to be in the same narrow way. So you have to stand up to the sins of the world, not to your sins. That's not what the sins of the world are. That's all right. Very few find the straight gate. Father's bride's a teeny tiny flock. Most people go to hell. Because Father is definition. Father is defined 100% pure light. Without blemish, Paul said, remember, the inner man that cannot sin. He is justified. He pours out a just measure. That is the gospel. Not many can share the gospel. Most people go to hell. Most people are nice. That means to be stupid. Most people are nice and stupid. Thank you, Father, for creating evil. Isaiah 45:7. Go read that scriptures. And the scribes, they scribed. He said, I am the Petra, the rock. He can kick rocks. How about that? Kick rocks. Till they turn to sand. How about that? Just don't build your house on sinking sand. Remember, he said, I am the rock. I am the Petra. So, only those who fear the Lord, and he says to love them, will have their Shem scribed in the book of remembrance. I live in a world full of nice people. Most people go to hell. Father's bride is a teeny tiny flock, and he doesn't have breasts, nor does he have flesh. He is Hokadesh. Ghost. It's people speaking an alien tongue. No such thing as aliens, no such thing as speaking in tongues. Dialectus glossa. Their vernacular is oligos. They speak like dragons with their forked tongue crooked in the garden. Don't lie. Remember, you thought Eve took a bite of the apple, didn't you? Take a bite of it, I'll puff on that. Little magic dragon. So, thank you, Father, for the word. Father is the word. You have to be able to define what a demon is, you idiot child. Zaz. This is an adult-only stream, so Z was not the last yod added to the English dead language, like you speak like a dead alien. You can't rebuke anybody. You're not rebuking anybody. Only the word can rebuke. You're a child. Get away from me, child. You don't ever study, do you? You don't own a lexicon. Father will be there. Remember when judgments are poured out? He knows he's inside you. He's not in the sky. There's no God is a title. You're a child. Get away from me. You stink. Pew like a church pew. Ugh. Religion's vain. Remember Jeremiah? Pray. Do not pray for them. So you're not going to rebuke anything. The only thing that can rebuke is the word. And cosmos is an orderly arrangement. It's not in the sky. Yod is a letter. I think you're out of order. Remember? Mark. They give it mark, not sealed. Remember? There's a difference. Kara character mark. Sin to be off the mark. I think you're off the mark. Remember character yod you add, so you can't add. You don't know what it's demonion. The word is demonion. Demonic. Do you know the definition of a demonion? Any definition, any truth in you? There's zaz. Yeah, Z was not the last yod added to the English dead language. Hebrew, remember a mathematical, do you speak, or froward, remember there's a Hebrew where that means to pervert. You're perverted, get away from me. I don't sup with perverts. Lie, tables of our hearts, they laid. Got the education of a fly. Remember TikTok, rot brain, too much TikTok. Definition, he said, I am the aletheia. You speak any Greek? The old Jewish, remember, scribes, scrolls, laws, well, under this covenant, not bound by flesh, but I already told you can kick rocks. Aletheia, truth. So, Kamala Allah Akbar. Okay, get away from me. You stink, like I said, you stink. Don't touch children ever. You're a child. Check this IP address for Kitty P. Thank you. All right. We don't know it's never okay to touch a child, marry a child, or have. Yeah, get away from me. He said you'd better have a millstone tied around your neck to be cast into the sea than hurt one hair on my children's head. And he knows the number of hairs on her head. So it don't matter if you shave your head. I've been shaving my head since I was 17. So, and I'm an old man now. I'm an eternal being, like a hourglass with the same amount of sand that just keeps flipping over and over. Don't be flipping or tripping, remember? I think they're spinning and corkscrewing. So you can go corkscrew somebody else. Thanks for coming in there. Oh, you sound like RFK with this little raccoon phallic. Hey, don't worry about it. It's not meant for. I'm not trying to get anybody's subscription. It's a family affair. This is a mother all channels, but it's shadow banned. We've been doing it for many years. But I'm about 13 years on YouTube, but half a dozen channels or more. But just here sharing the narrow way. That's what we're supposed to do. Fellowship, share the light. If not, you're going to hell, and you're probably already there. So 99% of the people who come into this ministry can't give me any definition. So they speak no aletheia is the word truth. So it's alien is a foreign. That means foreign tongue. They used to, remember, had to have an interpreter, not speaking in pig Latin. Most people speak in swine talk. So maybe don't cast your pearls in the mud before swine. So low energy is what it is, not below you. Remember, they can get off their knees. They try to blow me, below me. I don't get it. All right. Get off your knees. I know what I've been licked. All right, apologies. I had to throw some comedy in there. So, hey, we laugh sometimes, and that can't be all business all the time. None of us are. We're all filthy rags. We all fall short of His word, but if we stay in the narrow way, it's process, and more, it just gets harder and harder. But it's okay. And now you're on the right path. So, Hados. Let's be in the same narrow way. And what did He do? That's what you need to be doing, what He did. So He stood up to the sins of the world. So that's what I do in here. Mother people, correct them. Not father. He said, call no man father. That is, remember, The Pope, all that nonsense religious. That's Satanism. Catholicism is all the Catholics, Christians, Protestants, Presbyterians, Baptists, Mormons, Lutherans. I could just go through the whole list of Fruit Loops. A bunch of them. They're all a bunch of. They worship the sun god Satan. So they never take the time. So he said, "Come out of her, my people." That is the one that's being revealed right now as we speak, the seventh king. So, so you were the only one. I'm out. Okay, see ya. Kick rocks there, Spock. Nanu, Nanu. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for peace and safety. Nanu, Nanu. Kick rocks. Get out of here, child. Falls on deaf ears anyways. So most people, like I said, they're nice. The word nice means to be stupid. So come in here and play some stupid games and you'll get some stupid prizes when you leave. So men's hearts are waxed cold to the word. They can't share any gospel. I bet you I can go to every church and never find him anywhere. He said he doesn't dwell there, so why would I find him there? He said it twice. Declares to witnesses always, because we're under bound by contract, not by the Old Testament laws of fate, fee, fine, or ritual or celebration, right? So go do your little cell vibration. Tell eyes to your eyes. Keep telling yourself it's 2026. It's not. You're an idiot. Get away from me. God is a title. There's no J in the Old or New Testament, so there's no Jesus. What the hell is Jesus? So stop speaking in translation. You speak like a dragon. Mithra was Moloch, birthed in a manger on December 25th. So I'm not here to sup with vipers. Get away from me. Father, thank you for narrowing these vipers away from me. This channel's not for, it's a ministry, not a channel. I can just make channel content. I have 5 of those. If you'd like to just go watch channel content. But this is it's a ministry. So we'll come here to live revelation, live the firmament declared, 2 and 3, 12 and 13. So at the revelation. So it was already declared. You missed it. The boat has already left. So you must have broke free. You are anchored in faith. So you missed the boat, right? So thank you, Father, for the word. Just again, this is going to be the 23 code. Tell me what you know about the 23 code. Nobody's coming and go, hey, what's 23 Cipher? What's the 23 code? Not even curious. Just come in here to entertain yourself. There's a place called the Hub. You go pull in your chain over there. Remember, it's got the keys to knowledge. So go study, come back when you learn something. Lights come on or something. Remember, children are not meant to be seen or heard. Get out of here. Go play outside. When the lights come on, they come over your head. You'll come in and be back like and share something. Share some light. Otherwise, like I said, remember, kick rocks. So thank you, Father, for the word. The 23 Cipher. Here we are. They're doing it because nobody knows what it is, and they're doing it right to the whole world. So whirling them, spinning them, telling them that they're at warp speed, faster than the speed of sound, at 1,040 miles an hour. They're corkscrewing and spinning. So nothing aligned with scriptures. Oh man. So seeds, remember, you're sleeping. He said he would do that. So not get rested, go lay down and close your eyes, but spiritual. You're spiritually sleeping. You must be drunk because you mixing leaven. Somebody die? Oh man. This happens every day. The bass must have had somebody at his place die. Feel the bass. Remember? People die, they have a wake, and then they mourn. So, top of the day. How are you doing? It's a hard one to get out of your dialect. Outstanding, Buck. Good to hear you. I got some stuff that's already gone to flower, like lettuce and stuff. What the hell is that going to flower? It's just April. You know what I'm saying? Or May. Oh crap, already in May. Skip, remember April Fools? To my Lou. All right, never mind. I had to throw that in there. So remember at the top of the day, the separator, the dark and the light, the sun would come up. He said, I am the horizo, I'm the separator of this dark and this light. They would call that the horizo. So people wake, right, and die and mourn. The sun wakes. Outstanding. Good stuff. Yeah. Man, we're getting so close. We're 2 days away from this inspection. Or it's not an inspection, it's the engineers coming out to tell me which pole I need to go off of so I can start kicking, forward on this uh, electric, and then the septic, and then, I have to set the pad, and I just have so much to do. But I need to know price. I don't want to make it about money, but I need to know the money so that I can get it done and move on. I want to buy one of those pellet machines, feed. I recommend you look into this, Buck. But I don't know if you have any animals. If you do, this is incredible. I mean, if they're not new, they've been out, but just feed pellet machine, a mill. They mill out pellets, and you can take your garden and throw that in with, like a hay baler, and create that, you know, and man, you could create a lot of food. You know, I'm on this, man. I'm going to take my garden. There you go. They eat the same, they eat a very similar diet. They'll both eat, they're both eat like freaking pigs. So they are. The chigs are picking with wings, or pig with wings. Pig, what the heck did I just say? So, but look into one of those feed mill machines. And I'm not talking some little hand crank. You got to buy something you get your money's worth. But this is something you could create. What was else? There was some other things that I was looking the other day that you could do out of the same. And I told you what I'm going to do is get one of these big alfalfa bales and make rabbit and, I'm saying, goat feed and chicken feed and premium top of the line. I'm going to put a label on it and get the test that they got out, because these are farmers test out their alfalfa out here. And oh, somebody died again. Somebody die in your place? So yeah, we got all that stuff. We're off the grid. We're trying to get back on the grid for a minute. I've been out here 10 years, so I get a freeze dryer. I don't have the batteries, powers, and solar panel and all that. I probably could have put the solar system in for the same thing, and I put the power in. But for now, I'm going to use that until I just need a consistent source. We're going to crank it until we can't. I don't ever think it's going to be Mad Max. I put away food for 25 years from now because I don't think the world's coming to an end. Some of these, everybody, oh, the world's going to come to an end, live in fear. You got to panic before the panic, brothers, sisters. That's right. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Yes, that's right. You don't be down there fighting people for the last roll of toilet paper. That doesn't make any sense. People are just, don't listen to people. They'll have you pushing the buggy down there, telling you're going to get the buggy if you don't push the car. Remember, blocking off oil aisles of food, calling it non-essential goods. They could do all. We're headed to a massive supply chain crunch, anyways. Fertilizer, food. You better be thinking food right now. Food. Hey, they used to get up every morning. They say people think with their gut. Shit, had some instincts. People could go and not hurt each other because they don't have a Winco or Piggly Wiggly or a Kroger or Walmart or wherever you do your convenience shopping, where they feed the goy slop, boxed bag and canned flavored poison. So, brothers, sisters, we can do something about this. We can grow our own food, man. Don't have to throw lead at anybody. Nobody has to die. Nobody has to die. You know what I'm saying? We could just go around the system. Less than 1% of the populace grows their own. You can get 10 rabbits and make as much meat as a whole cow. You get chicken eggs, you can hatch those, and you make more chickens. Imagine that. Abundance is possible. Supply chain shortages are created. You become the supply chain. Cut them off, brothers. Knowledge is hell. Knowledge is no knowledge is hell. Knowledge is father. So if you were in the narrow way, you'd already be putting up extra oil. You have to put up for your children's children. That's what the word tells you to do. Extra oil, okay? So I'm not in here trying to turn anybody, you know what I'm saying? There you go. Outstanding. Use etymology. Thank you, Blood. Outstanding. Use your etymology, brothers, sisters. It's daily taking your etymology away from you. Glossa, dialectus, vernacular language is very important. You're enslaved. You speak a dead. Somebody came in here and said they mourn. We don't mourn. Top of the day. Good to see you. Remember, he separates this dark from the light. He's the separator. He's the divider. He is the equator. He's the equalizer. He pours out a just measure when he returns. And so will you. Remember, you will reap what you sow at the end, now too, as well. Put up those, the enemy came and sowed seeds while you're sleeping on rocky ground. There you go. And you're not producing anything on fertile soil. You'll know them by their fruit, brothers, sisters. Father doesn't want us to help people who don't want to help. Fishers of men. Remember what happens when you throw fish in the ground, you grow food. Bam. There you go. Now you got fertilizer. They're telling all this fertilizer short. You can create, you grow your own soil. You want high nutrient dense food, you have to have high nutrient dense soil. Remember in the 80s, they said the soil had been depleted and started growing with chemicals. Monsanto, they remember box, bag, flat, can, flavored. Look at these farmers. I am a farmer. I live on a farm. This is Silver Rock Ranch. I have farms all around me. Farmer used to stand there with a piece of alfalfa in their mouth, maybe Timothy. Hey, now they're out there in COVID suits. What the hell is going on? They grow your organic food in fluoridated and chloridated water. Yeah, test it for GMO. How come all the fruit looks like it's the same color and same size? We got that whack Nana, grandma, whatever you called her. Remember she had that cornucopia or little basket full of fruit plastic? That's exactly what the food looks like at the store now. Remember? Boxed, bagged, and canned flavored poison. When you could take control of your own stock and not let them merchandise you, stock you, and nail you to the U.S. stock exchange. So you're out there slaving, slave labor. We could be working for yourself, making your own supply chain, cutting off the big box, block, chain, store, and becoming your own. Go to your local farmers markets. There's a great way. They might even take some silver at the farmers market. Your farmer, Mennonites, Amish, they grow amazing food. They'll sell you half a beef, half a cow, half a lamb, half a pig. Yes, they will. And their food is not grown the way we grow our food. So there are ways to cut off. Hey, when the store goes down, they don't take your cash. They won't take silver. We can't take it out of our inventory because we're set up on the blockchain. You're already merchandised, brothers and sisters. You already sold yourself out to slavery with no bars. You go to work, you punch the clock, you hit you beat traffic, and you never get ahead, no matter how hard you try. When you could grow your own food, you could even grow a tomato plant. That would stick it to the man. That's how you do it. Get on their list, the checklist. What are you afraid? Go to church. There you go. The rat race, going round and round on a wheel, going nowhere fast. Evolution is going around the system, not growing another thumb. You know what I'm saying? Shackled by the blockchain. Exactly. It's here, brothers, sisters. The tokenized credit score. It's part of this system. They did it in China. It came out as a phone app, as Sesame Credit. Now it's a credit scored, social credit scoring, but it's tokenized blockchain credit scored communism. Social credit scored. I'm telling you, they're going to give you income and make it easy for you to not have to be to try to even do your own thing. I told you, was it World War II? No, World War One. I'm gonna have to check that fact again. Maybe somebody can fact check that again. I can't remember, but the Second World War, 40% of the U.S. populace grew a garden, they were called victory gardens, and they did this. The government actually encouraged the populace to grow food. Now they don't want. Now they want you to go down and eat that slop, the goy slop down there at the at the store where you're like, I have chicken eggs that I raised. They're already going to have 30 to 40% more nutrition than what you can get. I pay more for my eggs. I don't care. It's not about price, it's about quality. Nutrition is very important. You need to have your body as a temple. You're not bound by dietary laws. You can eat whatever you want, but remember, the body is a temple, and if you want to perform well, you put crap in your body, you're going to output crap. It's just like a computer. It really is no different. You input crap, it's going to output crap. Computers don't learn. You don't learn. Remember, you are what you eat. And you've forgotten, if you can't read it, don't eat it. We used to smell test things. That bread sit on the counter for 2 or 3 weeks now. It does not mold. Some of this stuff we should eat. People don't even think about it because they're too busy with the rat race. Exactly. If there's more than 2 items that are genetically modified, they put it behind a QR code. What kind of person mom's got a baby in her arm, got a time to flip on a phone and see what's in her? She's going to just put it in the cart and go. Well, she shouldn't be shopping at the store to begin with, correct? So if you're in a city and you are working right now, you are the Antichrist. You're doing an opposition of what Father wants you to do, not the Antichrist. You are Antichrist. Convenience. Father said, come out of her. Father hates capitalism. Father hates pride. Under this testament, remember, that was his old laws. This is not, we're not pride, and he had his pride. Remember Aaron and Levite, the Levitical high priest of Aaron and Levite, all these dietary laws. No pork, has to be, diet laws, the split hoofs, choose to cut, all these, scaleless, no pork, no shelf. That we're not bound by this. Those, if you listen to that, you probably live a lot longer. Father doesn't want us eating anything that eats poop. He doesn't, or dead animals, or another animal, period. Cut that out of your diet, and I guarantee I'm not giving any nutritional. People used to live a lot longer. Gee, I wonder why. Well, they didn't have genetically modified food back then, did they? They had genetically modified people. Well, we've been doing this, whatever. I shouldn't have said that. I should have left that out of it. But anyways, they're doing that to people, Remember the old greatest warp speed messenger relay sticker ever? Going in and tapping into people's protein. Speaking of food, protein spike mimickers like the Wuhan spike strain. They're still people, brothers, sisters. But I'm just saying there's been, we do not eat anything that's near what was eaten in past. Most people, again, used to forage out for natural, things out of the gardens. Natural food forests were out there. And it wasn't like today. That's why they want you stacked and packed in the city. Think it is. I was listening to Casey from Enter the Stars the other day, and he was talking about how if Father was running the show here, how food would be abundant. It'd be growing everywhere. We wouldn't be there's enough resources on this rock, but it's because of capitalism, and the same 8 to 12 families have about 50% of the rock's wealth right now. See, Father hates pride. So if you're in a city that's going to stick you hard, but whatever, you're not, they'll fine you for, you can't have chickens. You could have quail, do that. There's always an alternative, brothers. I come here and pitch a gripe, but I have alternatives to what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not going to just sit here and tell you, oh, this is going on, and not actually already be doing something about it as well. Okay. So, so there are ways to beat this system. There are ways, and it's to get out of the system, become your own system, get a small plot of land somewhere, start in a tent if you have to, grow a small garden. People do it. People get out of the system. I did it 10 plus years ago, long ago, checked out of the system. Even before that, was going and learning to live off grid. Brought my son. We went to Hawaii, lived over there, got totally off grid, lived before I came out here 10 years ago where I was at. I was even further away from nobody, or away from everybody. It wasn't around anybody, around a bunch of resources, but it wasn't right to pull my son out of very little social life and, isolate him like that. So I came back to like the big city of, it's a township of Silver Lake, like 1,000 people or whatever. So, from 100 where I came from. So, but again, narrow is the way that leads to the straight gate. Broad is the way that leads to hell. So notice all your big cities got all these lucky clover leaves. There's no such thing as luck, and highways in 12 lane or 10 lane and Broadway and the main street. Yeah, that's hell. You're living in it. Convenience. You're not producing anything. That's not Christ-like. You're not producing any extra oil. He said have extra oil. You're living off convenience. You're living off of, there we go, the mother of all channels. Thank you for appreciate that. We're just here to correct each other, brothers, sisters. You are the mother. You make that. You know that? Rishi, you make this channel the mother if you'll correct people in here with the word. That's what makes the mother is. That's your father corrects you. You say, call no man father, so we have our mother. That's your brothers and sisters that are in the narrow way. Those that are doing the will of Father. We're not perfect. in any way, shape, or form. It's a process, narrow. We start out horrible, and we just keep getting narrower and narrower. It keeps beating these things and less of the world until we'll eventually fit through that straight opening, brothers and sisters. Very few, it says, Holy Ghost, find that. So I'm not trying to turn anybody. Remember, 40% during the Second World War grew their own gardens, some kind of victory garden. Now less than 1% of this country that I live in grows food. That's not like that outside of this Americas. Well, America North. In South, it's different. There are a lot more people who do grow food. I'm talking about where I live. I got to be around this populace. You become a product of your environment, brothers, sisters. So you got to think what's going on around you. You know, you reap what you sow. So this is something that you can beat this, though. You know, teaching people that abundance is possible through Father. He said all things through the Word. And if you go back and study the Word, it'll tell you to do these things. Come out of my people. You wouldn't be living in a city. You wouldn't be paying W-2 tax dollars to go kill people. You would find a way to avoid as many taxes. You'll still pay gas tax and a phone. I'm paying tax on this. There's no way to avoid it completely. But you want to start coming out of her. Come out of her. More and more and more and more and more, less and less of the world. Less of the world and more of Christ. Deny yourself daily. Take up your cross daily. Follow after me daily. The horn of plenty. If you want a bounty, you have to leave the system, brothers, sisters. There's no way the system is going to have you trapped, chasing in the rat race, running on a wheel and never going anywhere, on a big circus show, the big carnival wheel going round and round, or again, like a rat, like a mouse, or, you know, just running on a wheel, not, you know, a revolution, going round and round and round. That's what they want you to do, is fight with each other. When you could be growing food and trading Brussels sprouts with your neighbors because you've got lemon cucumbers. What's up, neighbor? Love thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. You know, show people to the narrow way, brothers, sisters. That's all we're here to do. Everything else is secondary. So Father will take care of the rest for you, right? No, you got to put legs on faith. Noah prayed. Remember, he had a long relationship with Father. He didn't listen to the world. 126 years they scoffed at that old man, and never even one single drop. Remember? Take a drink. And it rained. And then it rained. Remember, you ever read the book of Luke? But he still had to build the ark, did he not? Still had to build that boat. You waiting for it to start raining? It's going to rain fire under this covenant. That's the old covenant, the flood. Remember, 6,000 half cycle year. We're 6,000 plus. Now we're in the 12,000 super cycle. Right now in the 6th extinction event. So what are you doing about it? Remember, war doesn't decide who's right. It decides who's left. I thought you were talking about extinction. Well, same, very similar. Remember? Not everybody dies in war, correct? Not in extinction. Not everything dies off. Extinction spawns evolution. It's people who go around the system and new things spring up. Oh, hey, I'm going to stop doing the blockchain. I'm going to go over there, like Pastor said, and find some Amish farmer so that when the power goes down or something, we have an EMP, something from the sun, I can still go over there and trade with my farmer. He'll still sell me, that Amish farmer will sell me a half a lamb, a half a cow, a half a pig, a half a beef, a whole cow, a whole pig, a whole beef, if I have a big enough family. And then I'm not, you know, and he might trade with me. He might even take that pickup truck. You know, there's things that there's better ways to just allow the system to cut you, you know, and death by a million paper cuts. Next thing you know, you're out. You know, you can do this. You do it, go back and claw it out the same way, one day at a time, little by little. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. Don't go buy all the toilet paper. That's hoarding. You got to put yourself on a list. You're going to see that. Somebody will follow you home and, you know, steal all the TP for your bunghole. Go get some 36 extra rolls now, a couple. Remember during the COVID, they looked at you like you were crazy. You want to go back to that? COVID backwards, DEVOC out of here. COVID backwards, DIVOC, DEVOC out of here. I don't want to hear that. Go now. Grow now. Call now. No, you don't have to call now. There's no number to call. All right. Good stuff, guys. For the first people who put seeds in the ground, they'll reap what they sow. Grow now, right? Go put some chives in a little thing in the windowsill. Grow some freaking cilantro, something, some coriander, grow something. some rabbits, some quail, chickens, anything. You're not going to grow anything. You're just going to sit there and keep eating the goyim slop. TikTok rot brain, man. These people are lost, like vampism, man. They just suck the life out of them. Whatever. They go to the store, convenience, there and back. Got them. So eat the goyim slop, do what you're told, go to work, fill out the W-2 tax dollars, and keep killing Iranian children. Good for you. Good job. And at judgment, Father's going to hold you accountable for all those Ukrainian women that you killed too. All you did it with your W-2 tax dollar, federal tax dollar, state. Yes, you did. So, hey, you just try to grow food, Trax. Just try to stop doing their system, man. Come out of her. We don't have to. Remember, we can grow something. Grow some tomatoes, potatoes in a basket, in a 5-gallon bucket. My mom used to put avocado seeds in the windowsill. I can't get them to sprout, but she grew sprouts in the windowsill. Always something growing. Always had a garden. I've always, I've got a garden going now. Why wouldn't you grow a garden? Grow now. Grow now. For the first 5 people who sow seeds, you grow now. Who's going to hold you accountable for sitting there talking about people? You don't even know what the word retard means. You're an idiot. Look at this. Look at this guy. He makes no power. He comes in here and he calls me retarded Leroy, who doesn't grow anything, doesn't have a solution, doesn't have any way to put anybody on his land, can't do nothing. Get out of here, Leroy, you internet troll. You're an idiot. You don't even know any definition. So there's videos of all kinds of things. We're putting more buildings out here. We've got all kinds of, this is a family affair. Get away from me. You stink, man. You do. You stink like swine. Low energy. Get away from you. We're producing fruit here near a bad apple. So fermentation, brothers, sisters. Can you smell it? Leroy's swine. So remember, retarded. Mental retardation is a mental disability, and those are the sons of God, and you don't even know how to use that vernacular, dialectus, cosmo, yodes, orderly arrangement. You're out of order there, idiot. So those are the sons of God, remember? If somebody doesn't know that they're sinning, that they haven't committed a sin, and that's innocent as a child, and you just use the word retard, you're an idiot. Define the word idiot for me there, Leroy. We'll see if you have anything else other than bad fruit you're producing in here. Remember, a little leaven leavens the whole lump, so you're not going to hang out in here. Remember, you hung from a tree. Remember, not Johnny Appleseed. Go ahead, throw some more seeds out there, Leroy. Let's see. We'll know you by your fruit there, fruitcake. People are such swine. Remember? Pigs. Stick an apple in his mouth, huh? Father will cook him. Don't worry about it. I'm not trying to change anybody. So it's a family affair, remember? We're not trying to... Okay. So, thank you, Father, for those that sow seeds on fertile ground, because you'll reap what you sow, brothers, sisters. You're, love thine enemy, show them to the narrow way, show them to the gate, You don't know what a fairy is, David. Remember? They don't know what a fairy is. Come on. Fairy. That's a Celtic demon. People don't, that's the word daemonion. Doesn't say demon. Now it says devil. Remember, they used to pray to the demon was a compliment back in history. It was a compliment, but people are idiots. Remember, most people can't define any words that come out of their face. So that's, most people are evil. Remember, most people go to hell. The word nice is to be stupid. So most people are nice and stupid or evil. See why most people go to hell? Hell's not below your feet. That's the greatest thing about hell. I love it. Thank you for that, Father. It's actually agape, not love. See, these people speak like dragons. Remember, like Leviathan in the garden, crooked. So they like to pervert. They're translators. So, a fairy is a Celtic demon. All right, get out of here because he's a Nephilim. Get away from me, bully. Let no one take your crown, brother, sister. You got a temple. Remember, 2 of them right there on the top of your head. And he said, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So don't put no swine talk in here. Your goyim slop talk that you do. Get away from me. You speak like you know, you're perverted. Get away from me. So again, back to what we're saying. Food is going to be something in the future that if you don't have, an abundance of, you're going to be at the will of the system. So 1 foot in the system, 1 foot out of the system. You don't like the new system when it comes, you check out. If not, the new system comes, you're going, and you're probably already there because you don't grow any food. So grow now. Don't listen to these people. Remember, Noah didn't listen to anybody. 126 years he prayed. He had a relationship with Father. They scoffed at the old man, and then it rained. Remember? So which side of the door are you going to be on? This is about a wedding. Okay. At judgments, that's the wedding supper. So that's when everybody gets judged at one time. Doesn't matter how nobody's faced judgments yet. You judge under this covenant, under righteous judgment. Do not condemn a man. Father will do that at that day, right? The great and dreadful day of the Lord. Great for oligos that find the straight gate, few, tiny fraction. Fathers let everybody, most people go to hell. And terrible for the rest, most who enter through the wide gate. He's got the keys to that gate, does he not? So study, brothers, sisters. Prove yourself worthy by studying the Word. The Word is what Father is the Word. You don't die and go somewhere above your head. That's not where Father's at. He's right here. Remember, the kingdom, the inheritance that you receive is within. So, straight is the gate. Straight is the gate. Narrow, he tells us in the book of Matthew. Straight. Narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Straight is the gate. Okay? Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate. We have 2 gates. It's not a horse race. Slow down, Turbo. No, get it. Golden. I don't know what that Kentucky Derby, whatever. That came up on my feed. Darn it. They do that stuff to you. So thunder over Louisville. So, okay. So, but broad is the way. He tells us in the book of Matthew to enter through the straight gate because you need to be narrowed so you'll fit through that straight opening. Broad is the way that leads to hell because you enter through the wide gate. Many enter by the wide gate. Okay. So he tells us, enter through the straight gate, for broad is the way that leads to the wide gate that leads to hell. Many enter by that gate. Narrow is the way that leads to the straight gate, and oligos find that straight gate. So the gate is a straight gate. It means it's theolobo, to be pushed from both sides, like that hourglass. So you'll fit through that straight opening. Theolobos. Theolobo, to be friends hate you, separate you, imprison you. You don't want to talk to you anymore. All you ever do to talk about is the Word, and you find other times to talk, but this is what you do. It's who you are. It's part of being a disciple. You're hated by the world. You're hated by your friends. You're hated by your family. And then it just keeps getting narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower. That's theolobo, to be pushed from both sides. The word theolobos, to be pinched. So theolobos, Greek verb. It's an action word. Theolobos, theolobo. To be pushed, to be pinched. So you'll fit through the straight gate, okay? With some Greek to help you out. So why you want to study Greek. Very important, an old Jewish book. Then you can give definition to why every word that was spoken had value, meaning, like etymology, like definition, like aletheia, like truth. Straight is the gate, okay? So hados is the word narrow in Greek. Hados. That means to be in the same narrow way. Same narrow way. The process as he went through. We must suffer in that same way. Long suffering, he said. Long suffering. We start out wide. Wide is the gate, right? Straight is the gate, right? Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate because there's no narrow. Well, that's pretty epic there. Remember, the cosmos are not above your head, but the firmament declares his handiwork. Remember Psalms and David's writing. So they're the ones that mark the star markers, stars and the sun and the moon, not planets. Remember, planet means wander. Father didn't create planet. Planet is the word. Planet is a word. It means to wander. Alien is a word that means foreign. So these people are, space is the they're lost. Get out of my space. But that's okay. 0101. They're like Android or I don't know, take a bite of the Apple iPhone. I'm not sure what their ET phone home or all that nonsense, extra testicle or whatever their 3 transgender Jesus God or the stars carpet Jesus or whatever. I don't know, maybe he's shaved. I'm not sure. So thank you, Father. These people go after deities. Remember Jeremiah 4:1, cutteth the tree out of the forest, Moloch, right? Grove, Baal, sun worship, Baal in the grove, sun god, Mithra, Moloch, same phallic, remember, same dick, same worship with this phallic worship. That's what they remember. That is Ishtar, the wife of the sun god. Star worship, Ishtar, Semiramis, the wife of Satan. Remember that, a sun, Tammuz. What am I from? I was born in the concrete jungle as a minority. So that's why I don't see color. I don't see race. There's one race in the human race. So, yeah, they had their pantheon gods and all their good stuff. These people are lost. I'm not trying to remember Vandals and Ostrogoths and Visigoths. They went after all these gods of, fire and tree and, for the heathens are dismayed at them, learn not their ways, their calendar worship. These people lost space. They think it's 2026. They're spinning on a ball at warp speed, faster than the speed of sound. Remember, corkscrewing, perverting. That's pervert. That means, well, to twist, to warp, to add, to spin, to get, that's the Hebrew word froward, and it means to pervert. So you're perverted. But anyways, these perverts that are spinning, they're spinning and they're perverted. Well, they're perverting what the word says. It says it can't be moved, so if you look up, everything else is spinning, but I'm not, vertigo, maybe a little bit from, the injuries from getting hit in the face with a grenade, but you can't spin me. So, but that's the world you live in, remember? So you have to not hang out with perverts. If anybody tells you it's 2026, they got the education of a fly, and they could be in a box. They could have letters in front of their name, but that's in a box. We went through dimensions in the stream yesterday about being dimensional and how many dimensions there are, and we stopped at the 6. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Either people are very stuck in the box in the 3rd dimension. Remember what happens when you unfold a box? You get a cross. There's one for you. Nobody ever hung from crosses. That's blasphemy, and you were warned about idolatry and imagery. So the Messiah, the Hamashiach, was not birthed on December 25th. So go get a real job. This person wants me to pay. Do you have a Georgia? Hold on, don't moderate, Georgia. Do you have a job, Georgia? Do you have a job? Do you pay a W-2 tax dollar? Don't run away, little Jezebel. Don't run away. Don't go away mad. Just go away, right? No, don't run away from me. Do you have a job? Would you like to, state, federal? They started a war over 2%. I'm a United States Army veteran, and I defended the right for your free speech, no freedom or no free will. So, okay. Do you have a big job? Did you pay a lot of money this year? And did you throw out, like, did you hit it big? Bling, bling. Retired U.S. Army. All right, you're a viper is what you are. You're slime ball. Come here, 8. You're 16 up. You're 16 up. Tell everybody what it is in here. Tell everybody what it means to be 16 up since you're retired and you're, remember, Delta 214. Is it honorable? Go ahead. Tell everybody. Come on. Soldier, you move like frickin' pond water. I know, you're dragging ass. Tell everybody what 16 up is. Since you're a retired Army veteran, you're 8 up, right? So tell them what it is 16 up is. I served next to slime balls. Are you proud of the flag? I wipe my ass with the American flag. You never read scripture, do you? Come on, what's 16 up? You ain't no soldier. What was your MOS? You sound like a leg to me. How'd you even make it out? Did you hide in a hole? Foxhole? Whatever, man. You're a slime ball, I can already tell. You can't answer no questions. You're retired. They didn't much teach you much anything, did they? You sound like you're, I know veterans that I served next to. They weren't veterans, brothers, sisters. They were trash. They never remembered the right of the people is what we were serving. Killing women and children in other countries so people could be free in America. You know, all that nonsense. So let's see what this U.S. Army retired veteran has to say. Veterans are the worst thing to walk this rock, brothers, sisters. Under this covenant, we're not supposed to be outside our border. So remember, no foreign entanglements, but you won't hear this slime ball talking about anybody's rights. Didn't stand up, Devok out of here. About face! I don't want to see elbows and assholes. Get out of here. You're an idiot. You can't speak. No, you don't. You speak like a dragon. Yeah, I served next to people that weren't soldiers. They don't care about anything other than a paycheck like these cops. All they care about is officer safety. I asked you what your MOS was. I asked you what 16. I started to just do some basic numbers with you. You couldn't do any about face. You know what that means? That means do 180 degrees. As you were, carry on, soldier. Move out, draw fire. 95 Bravo. Get out of here, child. Bravo. Yeah, leg. Get out of here, leg. Get away from me. You can't answer no questions. I already said move out, draw fire. You can't take simple instructions. Tell these people what their first general order was then. Have you forgotten what your first general order is? Go ahead there, soldier. Put it in the chat. Pride. Pride is a sin, brothers, sisters. This man couldn't even tell me about how much money. He told me to get a job. I'm a pastor. I have a ministry. This is what Father has me girded as a soldier of the Most High. And if I die here on the battlefield, I hope that Father will bless me and reincarnate me as a soldier so I can live to fight again. As you were, soldier. So, yeah, you ain't putting nothing. You didn't put anything. You're crap, soldier. That's what you are. You're a weak skin. You have no military bearing whatsoever. You're not answering any questions. I asked you what your first general order was. I asked you what 16 up was. I already gave you a hint about 8 up. I told you I was a 95 Bravo. So tell everybody, since you won't answer my questions, the very first question, I already asked you how many questions. You can't answer nothing. You are an 8 up soldier is what you are. No, you're 16 up. 16 up means you're twice as 8 up as the rest of these other ones that are in here, this Call of Duty player or whatever. At least he can scavenger perk. Ha ha. Probably got more skill set than you. Leg, 13 Bravo, cannon cocker, artillery, leg, first person. The battle is the 95 Bravo, remember? The MPs and the POWs, the last one to leave. So you don't know war. Wars and rumors of wars. Soldier, you're 8 up. I asked you what your first general order was, but you can't even answer that. So why don't you see why this is what this United States Army is getting their ass kicked in over there in Iran right now, brothers, sisters. Yeah, we're going to get smoked over there. And they're drafting your women and children now. They just raised the age of enlistment to 50 or 42. Pick up maybe some people like this retired thug, whatever he is. He don't care about your rights. He didn't talk about any rights. Okay? So, whatever. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This guy wants to pick with me, but he don't talk about your rights. He's not talking about anything. He can't answer the question. So if you want to stay in here, Georgia, like a peach, little fuzzball there, little peach fuzz, answer my question. You told me to get a job. How much money did you make last year retire? How much money did you pay in taxes? Let's talk about some reality, soldier. Attention! Help! You better be locked up. I don't hear a single thing. I know I outrank you because guess what? Don't confuse your rank with my authority. I'm a military police member, so you better be standing at attention. They're Georgia, Bravo, leg. Yeah, I asked you a question. If not, you can't answer my question. You do not confuse your rank, even if you have a higher rank, with my authority. You understand, understand, and overstand there, soldier? I don't want to hear a peep out of you. Now I'm asking you a question. If you can't answer, it's like put your name at the top of the paper. Brothers and sisters, in the military, you got to teach step-by-step instructions because of legs like this. Some people don't learn at, well, a second grade level, and no soldier left behind. Remember your battle buddy? Let's see if this guy even remembers anything about. I asked him his first general order. He couldn't answer that. First general order. So the first thing I asked you there, idiot, was, hey, how much money do you make? How much money did you make this year? Because I want to continue on with my conversation and throw your ass out of here. You're an idiot. You're proof that soldiers are scum. They were the worst thing to ever walk this rock. 1,000+ military bases killing Iranian children. How many Iraqi women and children lost their life during Operation Desert Storm? Iraqi freedom. Desert Shield, soldier. How many soldiers died? I don't care. Battle dress uniform. I care about those women and children that lost their life. Depleted uranium. Now tell everybody how much money you made, soldier. This year. Speak up or get out of here. You're 8 up, soldier. You can't even follow simple instructions. Surprised you're even still here, remember? War doesn't decide who's right. It decides who's left. So don't tell me that you ain't even acting like no soldier. Answer my questions, brother. So this United States retired Army soldier, 13 Bravo, a frickin' artillery leg, okay, who can't answer simple instructions. I've asked him over and over again, what is your pay this year? What did you net? What did you gross? It makes me sick that you can't follow a simple instruction, and you're proof that why our Army, nobody's scared of America anymore because of soldiers like this. Doesn't care, doesn't talk about your constitutional rights. I brought up First Amendment rights. Does not talk in anything. Just there trying to argue with me. That's fine. I'm not arguing with you. I don't care. You're an idiot. You're just proving to be an ass. You can't learn. You can't follow simple instructions. You don't act like a soldier. I can tell you that, because a soldier has to follow instructions. So I don't think you made retirement. I think this stolen valor it's easily, if anybody was watching could see, that's probably you. Well, you can't follow simple instructions. How the hell, if you have to take instruction to be a soldier, you'll get kicked out of the Army? You're an idiot. So answer my question or get the fuck out of here. You're 8 up. No, you're 16 up. Just like I said, you're twice as 8 up as any other soldier I've ever been around. So tell everybody how much money you made so we can continue the conversation. Don't say anything else or get out of here. If you can't say that, I have no proof that you're a soldier, because a soldier can follow simple instructions and you can't do that. And so, okay, so here we go, brothers and sisters. Can't follow simple instructions, okay? This is why nobody's afraid of America anymore, brothers and sisters. We used to put the fear of people, like I said, military police, first ones in the battle, last ones to leave with the MI and the Cab Scouts and the Marines and all that. I hated dealing with soldiers like this because they're just legs. They have no brain. They serve a purpose in the military. It's like that cotter pin. If it does fall out, the whole thing comes apart. This person couldn't teach it. He never led anybody. He couldn't lead his way out of a freaking paper bag, let alone know anything about morale. I asked him a basic question, and he's psychobabble rambling. These are the kind of people who get people killed, brothers, sisters. I know. I was a military police. I was in law enforcement. That gun next to me from this leg right here is going to get me shot. Now I got to worry about this guy. See how that works? So I don't like people like this, okay? So this is a leg, brothers, sisters. They have no brain. They're a killing machine. And that's all I'm trying to get this leg to answer me. He can't see it. He can't even function properly. I'm asking him his W-2 tax dollars because he's the king of battle. He wants to brag about how many people he's killed. Women and children is what he won't talk about. Remember, I asked him how many women and children died in Operation Iraqi Freedom, right? Desert Storm, Desert Shield. He won't answer my question. He's proud of his death machine. This is what a gate guard. We're the first ones to battle. We've got more field missions, more missions in battle than any other MOS skill identifier. 9 of them. How many field missions do you have, Georgia? Let's see if he can even answer. I've asked him some simple questions, brothers and sisters. This is why I'm so glad that I don't have to be in the military anymore. Because people like this, you have to deal with people like this. That's why I told him he's 16 up. He's 8 up, actually twice as 8 up as most soldiers. He's a killing machine. That's all they know what to do. He don't got no skill set. Oh, I learned how to kill people for a living. What kind of job do you get after getting out of the military? You go work as a private contractor, brothers and sisters, and you get paid more to kill more people. So he won't answer my question. So let's just go ahead and ask one more time, because he just doesn't know anything about the military police corps. He's a leg. So here, listen to me, leg. I'm going to ask you one more time, because you're 8 up. No, you're 16 up, and you're showing that this is exactly why nobody is afraid of this military anymore. That's all you want to do is pick a fight. So answer my question. If you can't, then I will moderate you, and you're just showing. And I'll go back and look at this again and clip out this thing with you. I'm gonna make some issues with this, because it shows how brutally terrible your pride is, that you don't want to answer any questions, and all you want to talk about is fight, pussy fight. I was this, I did that. I asked you how many people died, women and children. You didn't answer that. I asked you basic questions, and you're making a complete ass of yourself because you won't answer any questions. All you'll do is ramble on. So again, they have a job for you in the military. It's just kill, kill, kill. So this is the problem with our military, brothers and sisters. Even out of this covenant, they would never let me go back in the military, be a chaplain, because I would explain and over-explain that we're not supposed to be outside our borders under this covenant. We're not. We can have a National Guard, but we're not supposed to be outside our borders. But this 8 up soldier can't even, no 16 up, he can't even concentrate. He's got TikTok rot brain. Even though he's retired, all he still has is that kill mindset. So maybe that's why they'll raise the draft age even more, and they'll ship this guy back off, and he can go do what he likes to do so much. He won't talk about it. He won't say that, people here in America pay this guy to go kill people. Pay him. How about a military police? They're the first ones that go to war, brothers and sisters. They have more field missions than any other. They're the last ones to leave the battlefield. So that's ridiculous, and I'm not talking up I don't like what I did. I don't like my past. That's why I'm trying to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? With people like this. This is why soldiers like this, like myself, I'm not going to do it, to pull the trigger 22 a day, because they some keep in the game because of pride. So, okay. So let's ask you one more time. You're a bumbling idiot is what you are. And you are definitely stolen valor, because you make the military look horrible. You do. All you've come in here and you couldn't answer any damn questions. If people had to look and they were a civilian, they're a soldier, and they had to look from the outside following simple instructions, okay, you would have to look and go, these two soldiers are talking to each other. This one will not even answer his damn question. You make the military look absolutely horrible. You know that? You do. You make the military, if two soldiers can't have a conversation, and it doesn't matter if you're some jarhead or some semen sample, two soldiers can have a conversation, but you're 16 up, just like I said. Just like I said. That's all you want to do is sit there and pick. You won't answer any questions. Does anybody agree that whether we're both soldiers or not, it doesn't, I asked him his first general order. He couldn't even answer that. He couldn't even answer his first general order, brothers and sisters. So he can't follow simple instructions. He accuses me of being stolen valor. He says that the military police are, pussies. They're the first ones to go into war, brothers and sisters, and they're the last ones to leave. They actually, if you look this up for yourself, don't listen to Georgia, don't listen to me, look it up for yourself. They have more missions than any other. They're the most heavily armed 4-man team in the military. So he won't answer any questions. And so does anybody disagree or agree? Because I don't care what you think. I'm not here to make friends with you. I'm not even here to make friends. Now I'm showing you how stubborn and how pride takes a man who won't even answer a question. When two soldiers are talking to each other, if they're civilians, are looking at from the outside going, both these guys served. This guy's asking him a question. He won't even answer. And this guy's just full of pride. I don't have pride. Our very first question I asked, because he came in and he said to get a job. I'm having this whole property contracted and I'm doing all the work myself for the ministry. I'm a pastor. I have a full-time job for the ministry. I'm a farmer. This idiot probably don't even have any power. He doesn't have any food. Even though he's probably a soldier and he knows failing prepares preparing to fail, he don't talk like a soldier either. So that's all I was asking. So what is that? I'm not your guy. Get out of here, Red Dead. People say that. I'm not your guy. Don't say that's the stupidest thing with you. Oh, my guy. You sound like that comedian. The guy who does the thing with the comedy in the background. Get out of here, child. So, does anybody else looking from the outside, would you like to make a comment? You know what I'm saying? So, all I'm asking you is if it's one soldier talking to another soldier. Now, I'm not talking to any of the soldiers that may have served. I'm talking to a civilian that served from the outside, saying, look, these two soldiers are having a conversation. All I asked him, he told me to come in and get a job, was how much money do you make? How much money do you make? Because I wanted to discuss with him about those Iraqi children that are Iranian children that I can't get that out of my head. I asked him that too. How many Iraqi during Desert Storm and Desert Shield lost their lives? Not battle dress uniform, men wearing military fatigues, but women and children. Didn't sign up for war, brothers, sisters. I just have a conversation. All he wants to do is fight, and he won't even have a conversation. This is why our military is so weak right now, too, brothers, sisters. We're about ready to get stomped in Iran. They have been warring for thousands of years. You got to remember, our country is still wet behind the ears. Although we do have advanced technology and we have been able, it is because of military intelligence. It is because of the MPs. We find out what you're going to do before you do it, and we preemptive, or that's a major why we've been able to, and our Navy, we police all the ports and all the oceans, period. I don't care what you say. We're not winning over there in Iran with planes now, are we? You know, this ain't Afghanistan. We're not going to beat them. We had to pull out of Afghanistan. This guy couldn't even have a conversation, brothers, sisters. And where I was trying to get with him was the fact that I asked him how much money he paid in taxes, because that is the system that pays soldiers to go kill Ukrainian, yes, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you be at work? See what I'm saying, brothers, sisters? So let's ask this idiot and see if this idiot can have a conversation. Do you have a job? Get a job. Targeted, get a job. Do you have a job where you pay a W-2? Let's ask the same. Now, we're not talking to a soldier. Now we're talking to a civilian. Let's see if a civilian can follow simple instructions. So, get a job. Do you have a job? And if you have a job, did you fill out a W-2 this year? So now you're targeted, right? Cole, get a job. So you work for yourself. Okay. So do you pay taxes? And why would you want me to get a job? You want me to go pay W? See, this is the same thing. That's all I tried to lead this other person, because they came in and said the same thing. These people are lost, man. So that's none of your business. All right. Eat it. All right. Big fat one. Goodbye, child. I'm not gonna have a conversation with who will not have a conversation with me. It's a two-way conversation. So either you follow what I'm saying or you're out of here. Thank you. So coming in once again, the W-2 tax dollar kills those Iranian children. So put in the chat. Do you have a job now? Did you fill out a W-2 this year, last year? Did you? If not, leave, go. I don't care. I don't want your subscription. I don't want your money. I have a ministry out here getting ready to put power back. I'm trying to create food for 25 years from now. I raise my own food. I have animals. I have livestock. I don't live in a city. I'm not dependent on the system. I am trying to get the Social Security that I paid into the system. So, you know, because I joined the military at 17. I started paying Social Security taxes at 15. I don't like the fact what I did in my past. I find solutions to not do that, to beat the system. So that was a great experience, fathers. Thank you for sending in a proud veteran, showing anybody who is a witness that you can't turn a goat into a sheep. People are stubborn, brothers, sisters, and they will not be changed. I wasn't trying to change it. I was just trying to have a conversation. But these are the kind of people that they hire for the military because they'll just kill. They are fall under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. They're government property. They're told to go. They don't care. They are the ones that just literally direct the threat. I'm a prior SWAT, prior military police. I know what it is to, and I'm telling you, these people don't care. They cannot decipher the difference between right and wrong. They just do their job because they're a leg. And that's scary to think that there's a lot of these guys back here in the States, retired, right around you. They're loose cannons. They're full of pride. And they never should have left our borders. We should not have any military outside of the United Corporation. Not under this covenant. He said, let vengeance be mine. We can protect our borders, but we are not to be going out and policing the world. I know. I was a military police. That's all we do is get involved. And like in Iran, they never, ever once bombed us, ever, ever. Couldn't even have a conversation with that veteran about what he thought about Iran because his pride got in the way. So 16 up. Twice as 8 up as most soldiers that I talk to. Soldiers are horrible. They're the venom. They're the vial of this rock. It doesn't matter which nation they serve for. They go outside their borders. They're the worst. These people could be protecting their homelands and not worrying about that, and we probably wouldn't be having all these problems. But biggest problem on this rock is the United Corporation going out for the last 100+ years, going out and getting involved in everybody else's business so that people could consume 40% of the resources, mostly oil, right here in America, by like 3% of the populace, so they could be comfortable as women and children die. So did you get a vote? Not one of you will sit there and have a conversation with me about that. Thank you, Miss 1099. So that's a good way. 1099, become an independent contractor. Avoid. There's ways they do it. So you're telling us not to pay tax? I didn't say don't pay taxes. I said don't pay unnecessary taxes, right? Because Father hates taxes. And if you pay taxes, then you're part of the system. You're the reason why they send, private contractors over to places so they can not say that we're involved in a military operation. See, we're not involved in a war. We pay people like Georgia to come in here a leg, give him more money, and he'll go out and probably break his retirement and go whack people in Iran just because he's told to do it and gets paid to do it. Better equipment, more money, and no questions asked. Remember, he's the war machine, right? That's what he does. He's proud. He couldn't even have a conversation about the W-2 tax dollar. That's all I was trying to do. See if we could have a conversation about why is it okay for people to send their money overseas and they don't get votes on where these dollars go. How long has that war been going on in Ukraine? 4.5 years? You killed the Ukrainian generation with your U.S. tax dollar. If you filled out a W-2 in the last 4.5 years at judgments, when we all face the final Trump, which is Father, not some dude on social media, you will pay for the death of those Ukrainian women and men, unalived. The average fighting in Ukraine right now is like in 50s, about my age, because all of them either fled the country or have been put into the meat grinder, the women too. And it's going to happen here in America. They're setting in this same stage. World War II, right? The Second World War equals the Third World War. We're already here. People are just waiting for something that's already happening. They just don't know how wars start. Like the Second World War started with embargoes. Same thing, tariffs, sanctions. It happened on the first regime, 4+5, Mr. Warp Speed. He sanctioned China. Washers went up by over $200. The sanctions, the people pay for it. So there is no World War III. Remember, it's the Third World War. You got to flip that around for me, base. Because again, and the Second World War, during the First World War, they didn't call it the First World War until the Second World War. They called it the Great War. And many don't even, realize that it's happening. Why I say that, if you can, because you've been here, everybody's waiting for one world order, one world religion, and one world currency. And it never says that even once, not even once. The Third World War is already happening, and everybody's waiting for World War III to happen. It's already happening. You said it. I just want you to flip that around, because then everybody's waiting for the Third World War, right? Mad Max, every bomb to fall in their backyard. Then they're going to respond, right? As the Third World War has already started. So You said it. I need you to flip that third in front, because it's not the World War III. That's what everybody's waiting for, like a one world religion, a one world order, a one world government, right? It never says that. Not even once. So if you'll flip that around, then you can go teach that to people, because then it'll make people realize, oh, wait, it already is. Because then you can tell them wars are started with embargoes and sanctions like they did to Japan. Then it was, right, Pearl Harbor. We should see that event. That's what I titled this, Pearl Harbor 2.0, come out of my people. Trump said he's going to escort these boats out of the Persian Gulf. Right? The Gulf of Persia has all these boats sitting in there right now. He's been blockaded. He blockaded the blockade. Remember? Iran bombed 15 nations when this all started. Ukraine, Lebanon, Israel, Yemen. Look at all these. This is the Third World War. Just because there's a bomb not falling in your backyard doesn't mean that it's not already started. Because outside of America, there's never been a war started with a bomb falling. They always start with tariffs or embargoes. So we should see sunken boats, just like Pearl Harbor. They're setting this up. Then we should see a Nagasaki and Hiroshima event. So World War XI clip. No, what is that all about? Skipper? I don't know what that is. But this is already happening, because wars don't start with bullets and bombs, right? That's why they make money on both sides. They sell bullets and band-aids, bombs and bandages, right? Rockefellers, Rothschilds, they put in Mr. Times Magazine 2 times Man of the Year. Mr. Charlie Chaplin mustache, yes. They loved him. They reveled after him, kind of like Mr. Warp Speed. I'm not saying he is the seventh king. The seventh king is the one that's locked in the pit, being revealed as the eighth king. He decorates his house with that sun god. Absolutely. Mithra, who had a 58-story tower. His Arch of Trump that he's building, the Arch of Triumph, was the entrance to the 58-story Nimrod's tower. That's why Mr. Warp Speed has a 58-story tower in Babylon. I mean Manhattan. I mean New Mystery Babylon. So this is already happening, brothers and sisters. This is how wars are started, by strangling their supply chains, cutting that. We saw that during the VidCo, did we not? Supply chains, all that. So try to keep your eye on the price. China gets 80% of their oil from Iran. How come we hadn't heard anything out of China? Well, China just spoke. Didn't the dragon just say something? Put in the chat what China said. What did China say? China just spoke, didn't they? They made a comment. So, so people are taking their eye off the prize here. What's really going on? We don't get any oil from, we get very little. What are we over there involved in that for? Israel, remember? That's what this is all about. You've taken your eye off the prize. A nation that is not, that's not Israel. It was a man called Jacob, not a country. That's not a country that's spoken of in Revelation. That's not the Israel, his bride, that he speaks of. So this is all deception. And you were warned about, remember, those who, Jew is not even a term ever, there wasn't even, the letter J didn't exist at this time. That's a new letter, Yod. That's a Hebrew letter that, there's no J's. So there is no Jew. That's a new modern term. So you were warned about this. And so Israel was, if you want to use the letter J, because it didn't exist, Jacob, right? Like John is Yahukanan, it was Y, right? YH, right? Not A, because there was no vowels in Hebrew. So once again, I'm not in here trying to turn anybody, brothers, sisters, I just try to have a conversation with people. And it shows when you come in here and you have a soldier that's retired Army that I had here and earlier, can't even have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Which river do you drink from to quench your thirst for truth? You're supposed to drink of the deep water, not the river, remember? What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, my puppy's here saying hi to Dad all of a sudden. So, supposed to drink of the living water. Remember, he said that the woman at the well, when she was there, he said, if you drink of the living water, you'll never thirst again. But I drink of the interlinear dual, both written in English because I was born in Babylon, New Mystery Babylon, and that's the dialect, the tongue that I was raised on. But I only study out of both the Greek and the Hebrew because it was an old Jewish book written in Greek. He said, I am the aletheia, so I study the Greek using a lexicon. That's how I find the aletheia, drink of the living water. I study the Hebrew. Remember, froer is a Hebrew word, means to pervert, add, take away, or twist. I don't sup with vipers. I don't twist his word. I unlearn and relearn. Translation is not literal definition. If you leave definition, you leave the aletheia, the truth. So don't froer. Remember, he said, you're frowarding my father's agape, that it was his law. Remember, we're not bound by law or fate. We're destined. There's a difference. Go study. So that's where I find the living water is in definition. That's where I drink in definition, in refined, purified, pure water. So translation is not, that's defiled and unclean. Remember, he doesn't want us to be with unclean, unyoked. So take a shot of that water and tell me what you think of that. So remember, Fomalhaut, the age of Pisces, water, deception. Welcome to revelation. That's where I drink my water in the celestial firmament markers above my head. Whoa. So how about that answer? You like that? Do you drink of that same living revelation? The celestial orderly arrangements left above your head and the stars, sun, and moon? The celestial gospel. Drink of that. Take a sip of that. Uninitiated. Well, the water is undefiled. Remember, he said to drink of the deep water, not the top water that was on top, which could be, fecal or coliform bacteria. The deep water is purified, like we're supposed to be purified. So, Sean's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, eating cereal. Do you eat cereal, brothers, sisters? Do you drink milk? Probably too much genetically modified food will make you like eating the goyim slop. So go back eating your goyim slop there, Sean. Don't even try to grow any food. So don't make your own power. Powerless, won't even try. No wind, no solar, no nothing, no chicken eggs, hey, that's all right. Don't even grow any hay. Oh, you want to roll the hose around? Ask Santa. So thank you, Father, for the word, for the deep living water. That's Aries, right? Aquarius, welcome to revelation. Aquarius, the living water poured out on Fomalhaut the fish. You have to know the revelation, but you don't, so that's okay. You're still stuck in, remember? Water, deception. The age, the veil has been lifted, remember? Welcome to the new age. Whoa. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Watch out. He likes balls. Little brown balls. So some people, their infatuation with round things, I'm not sure. American pie, balls, pepperonis, booby Jesus, whatever one they go after. Their Baphomet God with breasts. So their breasted carpet Jesus. So thank you, Father, for the word. Remember, he said, drink of the living water. The waters above. Hello, the firmament. And the waters below. As is above, so is below. On earth as it is in heaven. Those with less will have more. Those with more will have less. They're supposed to be in the same narrow way. It's like algebra. If you take something from here, you have to give it back. Just measure, he said, he will pour out when he returns. He is that measure. He is the separator. He is the horizo. He is the divider. He's the equator. The word becomes flesh. That is Shiloh. The scepter shall not depart from Judea. The lion from the tribe of Judea. He sprang out of Judea, was from the house of David. Remember, David declared him the Lamb of God. He was born of Bethlehem. David was born of Bethlehem, the star of Bethlehem, the star of David, not the star of Nazareth. Nothing good come of Nazareth, remember? The word became flesh, Hokadesh, through immaculate conception. It's immaculate. It's electric. Oh. It's all spoken into existence, remember? The virgin. Remember, Revelation, I just told you, 12. Then the dragon, remember, and the stars will be cast. Like a third of the messengers, because they defiled the word, made it unclean. Truths, he cast the unclean truths out of the church. Remember, he said it doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. So, it's in the waters above, remember, in the firmament. Psalms 19, David's writings. The heavens declare the glory of the Father. Heavens aren't above your head. The firmament declares his handiwork. Now that's above your head, remember? Above is pride, remember? Oh, now somebody's below. Well, you get off your knees now. I know what I've been licked. Stop trying to blow me. Oh. Nobody's below me. We're equally yoked. So we're not supposed to sup with those that are above or below. Well, if somebody's below, you help lift them up, right? Somebody's high, you help bring them back to the narrow way. Father does it. Show them. If somebody's in the broad way, show them to the narrow way. Love thy neighbor like thy enemy. Like that's been here since the beginning of time. So it's all there, though, Blood Vision. That's been going on since Constantine, since Rome, rebranding all these symbolism, the Ankh, Mary, the cross. That's pagan. There's nobody hung from crosses. That's Satanism, paganism. Remember, their worship, their star worship, Ishtar, and their lunar gods, and their. This makes sense to somebody like you, but most people would freak out. They don't know what they're seeing. But remember, they worship their equinox. This is the 23 ritual that I showed you guys. That's 2 equals 3. Why 23? Because this is the cipher code. 23, 23, 23, equal day, equal night. The worship of the lunar star, Ishtar, the sun, Samhain, all hollows. This is the cross. This is actually the Yuga cycle, remember? Going the way back to the Kali cycle. So we know this has been perverted. We know the New Year's doesn't start in the middle of the winter. That's why I want to hang out with perverts that tell me it's 2026. So he said, let no one take your crown. He warned about idolatry and imagery. That's why 99.999999999% of Christians are Satanist. 99.99999% of Mormons are Satanists, Baptists, Satanists, Protestants, Satanists, Predestined. I'll cover your religion. If you're in there, I got it too. You're a Satanist. Get away from me. It's not 2026. Stop spinning the calendar. You were told not to do these things. Do not partake in their unfruitful works of darkness. Read the book of Jeremiah. The firmament declares his handiwork, remember? In Psalms, right? Be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the firmament, for the heathens are dismayed in their traditions. Yes, they are. They worship Allah, Allah Akbar, and they touch kids. Catholicism was written by, remember, the Catholics wrote the Quran. You're an idiot. So, yeah, the Catholics. Remember, they can't keep their hands off the priests, off kids, Muslims. Here you go. This all comes from right here. Watch. Remember, Satan was the son of Tammuz, Christmas, Mass A. And when he died, remember Easter? Christmas married Easter. She had sex with her son. This pedophilia has been going on since. This is Baphomet worship. This is where your Muslim comes from. Remember, they worship Ishtar. Put a crescent moon on their flag. The crescent moon and the star. That's the goddess of Ishtar. That's a Muslim. That's what they worship. That's what's on their flag. They're like Christians. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're like Christians without a sun god. So Stupid. Keep your hands off kids and don't marry kids and lob and hang from a tree. So get the away from me. It's never okay to touch kids, have sex, or marry kids. Get away from me. You're a sick individual. Stay away from me. So there's no excuses. We're not under the laws of Old Testament anyways. Now, remember, bound by flesh. So keep your hands off kids' flesh. Don't touch them. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them about sex. Children were never supposed to see sex at all. Now they got them reading to, kids in libraries dressing up like frickin' Baphomet. Kind of like Manchelle Obama, kind of like Nancy, kind of like Barbara, kind of like all the first dudes. So that's just gematria. Same thing. That's just written by them. That's their writings. That's just gematria. So remember, 6 is carbon, 6, 6, va, va, va. Those represent the nails. They staked him and put him on remember, they nailed him to a stock, not a cross. Nobody hung from crosses. Nobody carried crosses. He tells you to carry your cross. And but that's still just gematria, remember? You obviously know gematria. I don't have to tell you what gematria is. Part of their cipher. You can decipher that. I don't need to tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's just, they play with these numbers. So there you go. And the serpent, there you go. Allah is not Elohim. That's all. He's not. Thank you, Blood, for clarifying that. It's not hard. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to change Muslims. I'm not trying to change anybody, brothers, sisters. It's already chosen. You're not turning anybody. Just show people to the narrow way. That's all you do. That's all you do. Just show them to the narrow way. Most people are on the broad way. Most people are entered by the wide gate. Most people go to hell. So there you go. So, but it's the same thing, brothers. So you got to remember, they spin the same thing for millions of years. Once again, you think if you took copper, right, and put it around a magnet and spun it, that'd give you electricity. Are you serious? You think this is the first time we've had electricity? Do you know anything about Tartaria? About these compression events that happen in our strata layer in the paleo records. This is the sun. These all follow in line with the Calais cycles, the Yuga cycles, the Heimrich events, the Lechamp, our AMOC. This is all controlled by the sun, brothers and sisters. That's why they worship the sun. They knew this, brothers and sisters. They know this much better than 99% of the people who walk this rock today. Like the Mayans knew that Nibiru, that's Jupiter, is planet X. You guys call it planet X. There is no such thing as a planet. Planet, Father didn't create. Planet means wanderer, like a wandering star, right? That's not a planet. It's a star. He created the stars, sun, and moon. But you follow a whole different calendar. And this says not to do these things. But you follow the calendar by going to work, punching the clock, being a debt slave. Yeah, or the universe. So we're locked in the firmament, brothers, sisters. You know what I'm saying? So we're locked in the waters. Remember, the firmament declares his handiwork in the stars, sun, and moon. It says it in Genesis for times and seasons. It's a clock. You're not going to the clock. Get away from me, warp speed. Artemis, remember? The twin sister of Apollyon. They play these rituals on you. It's Masonic, brothers, sisters. It's all part of this worshiping of stars. Ishtar, Ashtaroth, the sun god Baal in the grove. This is exactly why he divorced his bride and called her a whore. And he said there'd be a wedding, but we're not to do these things, remember? So come out of her, my people. It's not 2026. Stop being a lunatic. You're following pagan gods and pagan calendars, and you allow them to rob your time. And he told them, don't do that. Do not. He hates taxes. He hates oppression. You know what I'm saying? It's different than we are, sealed is different than those are marked. So that you know that, Phil. Thank you. Hold on, to ask a question here. So how does one not end up in damnation? Go to the book of Matthew. Remember Matthew 10:34. Abyss, is that your name? Abysmal 420. Oh, interesting. That's what these compression events were, brothers sisters. Thank you, Darren. Somebody's following me. The liquefaction event that happened in the 1800s from our, remember, we have Dalton, Maunder, Wolf, Spore, or all these are controlled by the sun, and you see these in the strata. You can see the magnetism at the rift zones, okay? Right. Hashtag outside, welcome to outer space. Operation High Jump, Operation Paperclip, Operation Nanook. Some of you guys are understanding this and overstanding what is going on here. Thank you. It's like Father sends a lot of vipers. Most people are evil. Look, I'm not trying to change anybody. Well, you probably don't own the right one anyways. The only one that's, if Bible means, remember that term right here, Bible means book. And now it's written on our hearts, okay? So I'll tell you where it's at. You have the interweb. You have the eSword app where you can use that as like a lexicon. And you only want to study out of the Hebrew and the Greek. This is, I only study the canonized where they defined in the 12th century every word using a dictionary lexicon. All of the words they were defined. They rejected 22 of the text because they weren't aligned with the definition. Too many variations was not aligned. He said hados. It's like, for example, the Old and the New Testament. The Old Testament is a foreshadow of what is to come in the New. I don't have the other three right here. They're sitting over here. There's 53 that were canonized and 13 to make a total of 66. Every word in these ones was defined. Every word by definition. So I don't study out of any other book. Project Blue Book, not Operation Blue Beam. That's a psyop, brothers, sisters, by the way. This is what's happening right now. So Darren might be in on this. Some of you guys might get this. So once again, the scriptures that I read were canonized where every word was defined. 300 men took lexicons and they defined every word in the 12th century. It's an old Jewish book written in Greek. The Old Testament is foreshadows what is to come. The New Testament is a mirror of the Old. Every definition, every definition that you want to find from the New Testament could be found out of the Old. Use your lexicon and use a concordance so you can actually one word study and start inner and overstanding these words instead of this stuff being under you. This is it. It's written on our hearts. This is already on your heart. He wrote this on your heart. Seeking ye shall find, asking ye shall receive. Knock, sup with those in the narrow way, and he will reveal this to you. He says that in the book of Colossians 2 and 14, once written on stone tablets. This was not written on paper, brothers, sisters. They scribed this to make these. You had to go have somebody that could speak it without having it, because it was written. They took the time, like it says, prove your worthiness by studying, not supping with those that are in the broad way, those that are willing to correct you like your mother. He said, call no man father, and your father will correct you, will he not? So you need to correct your translation and literally define every word. If you want to have a relationship with Father, you need to have a relationship with the words, not the cover, not a church, not a temple. The most, that's why I tattooed my hands that the Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. Your body is a temple. Remember, he got two of them right here. Let no one take your crown. Remember, I come quickly. He's got the keys to knowledge. Remember, hell is right here, brothers, sisters. Heaven is right here. Hell is not below your feet. The waters below and the waters above, the firmament. So that's right. That's called Hokadesh. Okay, Darren? Hokadesh is spirit. So you need to have a relationship with the word, and you need to define every word that's in the book. So what? Act like you don't know anything. You must be innocent as a child if you want to return to Father. Duh! Yeah, children know the definition. They don't know bills. They don't know anything. But when you teach them, if they're taught properly, mold like clay, you must be as esteemed as a potter's clay. Turn their works upside down, brothers, sisters. You better start using your etymology. You better start using your definition. You better start studying cultures, customs. The dialect is very important. Glossa, that's why you use concordance, so you can one word study and find out the context of that word. If you don't know what a concordance is, then you probably should slow down and stop knowing anything, because you probably don't know much of anything. And that's a good thing, because now you'd have to spend a lot of time unlearning and relearning. See, it's better if you're innocent. You'd be hot or cold, or he said, I'll vomit you from my mouth. So if you're hot and you learn wrong like me, it took me a whole decade to unlearn and to come back to these truths, these studies, by not being lazy, using my concordance, studying. It's written on your heart. Then he reveals, seeking you shall find. Discernment, not a job, not a house, not a car, not a wife. Oh, get me out of this sticky situation. Asking you shall receive. The same thing. It's discernment. Knock and I will come sup with you. Eat of the meat, brothers, sisters. Eat of the meat, not watered down. This was canonized. They literally pulled every word out of here, and even in the 12th century, they ran into words that they couldn't define. You're an idiot. Word salad. Get away from it. It's just this way, Father. Look at, brothers, sisters. This is what Father wants people to do. It falls on deaf ears. It's just like toss salad. It just makes no sense to him. Remember? Like tossing change. Remember? Get out of here, child. This is an adult stream there, Gore. Get back in the closet, Al Gore. Yeah, remember, we don't do any of that in here. No, it's an abomination for a man to lie with another man. Get out of here. Or you're a Jezebel. It's abomination for a woman to lie with another woman. Move on, Jezebel. Girl, don't go away mad. Just go away. So back to what we were saying, brothers and sisters. All these scriptures were taken out. 300 men literally took in the 12th century, and they still ran into words they could not use and define the definition of. And you're how many years? Thousands of years in the future? And you think you're going to get the proper definition? You got to slow down. And brothers and sisters, just study it one word at a time. Okay? Spaz. Okay, cool. Well, now you're calling names. Good for you, man. I am a spaz. My dad called me that. Crazy, spacey. They call me all kinds of names. You know, there's a difference between being famous and infamous. Why don't you kill Gore? Why don't you tell everybody what is the smallest trace gas of all the gases in our atmosphere, since your name is Gore? Learn somebody something, or get out of here, child. This is an adult stream. Okay, and not anything. He or she, they're so they're out here. So if you want to study these, if you want to study Father, Father is the Word. Father in the beginning was the Word, correct? Put a one in the chat if you're following me. In the beginning, where was all this created from? The Word. Father is the Word. You're not going to die and go to the sky. You're not going to fall out of the sky. At judgments, the dead are raised from the ashes and the dust, not from the sky. That's so freaking, the world that you live in, this is the people you got to walk around. They think dead people are over their head. Ask them where heaven is. Heaven is not above your head. Heaven is right here. So is hell. It's right here, brothers and sisters. Just define the words. Define each word, and that will tell you exactly. Go study. You know, if you want to learn around people who don't spit snake oil at you. People actually have the scriptures there. You can define them. You know, a lexicon is a dictionary. Your eSword app you can use if you don't own a lexicon. If you want to have a relationship, you got to have a relationship with the words that are in these scriptures. The word became flesh. That's where your journey starts. That's right, because you're under this covenant. You want to be called out at the wedding, then don't sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls. Remember, the enemy came and sowed seeds, right? Or pearls or seeds while you were sleeping. He says, don't cast them in the mud. Don't try to help anybody that doesn't want to help himself. Father, remember Jeremiah, he said, do not pray for them. You're not to help people who are not, those who don't work, don't eat. Give a man fish the first day, or a woman, because we're equally yoked, and then give him a fishing pole, teach him how to fish, and then tell him to kick rocks. Stop with this easy nonsense. Jesus is that Satan, the sun god Mithra? There were no J's at the time of Rome. You can get on out of here. Planet means wander. You don't live on a planet. Earth means ruled. You don't live on planet Earth. You are ruled. You live in hell already. You made it. Don't worry about going to hell. You're already there. By definition, to support these truths, All right, what's going on here? Yeah. Okay, so back to the word, brothers, sisters. In the beginning was the word. This was all spoken into existence, correct? So all these people wondering how this was created, it was created, it says it right there in the book of Genesis. In the beginning was the word. It's always been here, brothers, sisters. Heaven and earth shall perish, but my word will never die, correct? It's not going anywhere. You better have a relationship with this word. You better start defining every one word at a time. He said, I am the aletheia. That is the word truth. Truth. Okay? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So let's go back. In the beginning was the word. Then the word became flesh, correct? Because he didn't have flesh. Father doesn't have flesh. Father is the word. Father is Hokadesh. That is the word ghost. Ghost. Father is ghost. So if you're going to go be with Father, you can't have flesh, correct? He took the flesh, remember? He is seated at the right hand of the Most High. I'm going to leave this place to go to where my Father's house. That is Aries, that is the tabernacle, that is fire, that is the ram. David cleared him the lamb. That makes Father the ram. Remember the seventh trump, the shofar will sound, the dead will be raised at the final. He'll put 1 foot on the land, 1 foot on the sea. It says you'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye at the last trump. So what does the scripture say, Miss? What does the scripture say? What do you have for an example? Remember, I've seen enough of this hokey pokey, turn yourself around, Lot, get your wife, get your children. The messenger came, gave the message, not some flappy wings. That's a game, isn't it, or something? I got to come up with a whatever, a little parable for that. What does it tell us? It's an abomination for a man to put on woman's clothing. It's an abomination for a woman to put on man's clothing. It's an abomination for a man to lie with another man. It's an abomination. Flappy Bird, thank you. I don't play games, guys, so I knew something like that. Okay, angels aren't Flappy Birds, okay? The wings of an angel, the Hamashiach visited the Messiah as a messenger. That's what an angel is. So don't say angel. You're not grown up enough to use that word. You're not. Most people should never use that word ever. They just don't define it. You have to define what the word is to know what every word is. So if you don't know the definition of every word you speak, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about, do you? Put a 1 in the chat if you disagree. Give me your thoughts. Put a 1 if you do agree. If you do not know the definition of the words that you are speaking, you do not know what the hell you're talking about. And then if you disagree, I'll go ahead and give you the definition of what hell is, and then you'll see that you probably just should have put a 1. But I can't make you enter or overstand me. It's not for me to hold on. I go let my cat in. So if you're going to put any scripture in the chat, you please attach the scripture to it. I still don't know where everything in the book of Genesis is at. Remember Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. There's 613 statutes, commandments. I'm still trying to figure out how to follow all those, to the best of your ability is what it said. The first 5, the law, the Torah. But remember, I'm not bound by the Old Testament laws of flesh. You need to know which ones that he blotted out and which ones you still have to follow. What do you mean? He didn't abolish the law? No, he said they were fulfilled. Remember? The ones of fee, fine, celebration, ritual, flesh. Wrestle not against flesh, Paul said. He knew. Paul knew. The 13th Apostle Paul. You want some breakfast? You want some breakfast, baby? Get in. You want some breakfast, baby? Get in. You're not a baby. So we got the girl fixed. So I'm in Dubai. Oh, that's not a good place to be right now. Heat deep. It isn't, man. Iran is about ready to take out all those desalination machines and all that. If we try to police Iran, they're going to smoke us again, brothers, sisters. We are not going to, we're not winning. We really need to have this. This is something that is important too, brothers, sisters. You have to endure to the end. So there is no such thing as politics. If you think there's politics, you can leave now. History is being made every day, and you're not going to change it. Father already created and wrote all things, everything not written and everything that ever will be. But there are things that you can do in your area, being a wise virgin, not a foolish virgin, having extra oil. Voting out of your way out of this is not going to happen. You know, more people voted for Al Gore than any other president selected, right? Well, he voted by the populace, the people's vote, and you still got Baby Bush through the Electoral College. So your vote doesn't count. Well, you should know that already. And, you know, again, you're in a system that's stacked against you. Red team, blue team, they did it in Rome already. Hi, little girl. Hi, my little girl. Oh, my little girl. You want to come in and lay down on the bed? You're such a good little girl. Get back, Mr. Bobo. This is Juniper. We got her fix, and she's doing good. Oh, Mr. Jellyfish over there. I love a girl. She my bestest girl that I ever did have. She's so wonderful. She's a lovely girl. You want to get back down? There you go. So, she beautiful. She's so wonderful. She's just the best girl ever had. She came in to get some food. So, well, remember, democracy, we're not a democracy, you know. We were a constitutional republic. We had a House of Congress and a Senate. Remember, everything had to go through those three judicial, legislative, and executive branches to become law. Period. That's the way it was. Remember, House, Congress, Senate, judicial, legislative, and executive branch. The Congress makes the laws, not presidents. That's the executive. All these things have been absolutely defiled. We have what is now known as a corporation. Okay. So it's not a democracy is a two-party system. Although voting was part of the original constitutional republic, we are not a two-party system. We were different than that. That's what made this country completely different than anything that had ever been done before, is that we had this checks and balances: the House, the Congress, the Senate, the executive, the judicial, the legislative branches. These are the checks and balances that's never been done before. Democracy, serfdom, king's order, get off the land, that's been done before. You know what I'm saying? Rome was too. Rome was a two-party, red and blue. Exactly. They had Rome, they had democracy in Rome, red and blue. Not the first time they've done remember, it was the republic was the elephant. The democracy is the ass mocking the republic. That's what they do. The constitutional republic. Now we are a corporation. The Act of 1871 made us literally, it put all this over to merchant law, water, land, air, and water. Remember, water? You go when you go see the judge, the magistrate, this is all done under water law. Either way, I'm not going to go into all that, but my point that I'm making right now is that democracy is mob rule. It's a flawed system because of voting. Meaning we see that mail-in voting, all this, the election fraud, all this, they stole the election. 50-50 is mob rule, right? Well, no, 51-49 is mob rule, because 49 means you need to shut the fuck up and you don't get a voice anymore. 51% of the people voted that you got to dye your hair pink and wear a tutu. So here's your pink dye and put the tutu on 49%. You don't have a voice anymore, because the majority rules, right? That's the stupidest thing ever, brothers, sisters. You can walk down the street. I've been saying this on this platform for 10 plus years. Walk down the street and tell people, hey, 51% of the people voted for this, so this is the way it is. And they'll go, okay. Shut up, 49%. You don't get a voice anymore. That means 51-49 means we only got to pay these three schmucks off right here, and we got it back in our favor. Right? 51-49, majority rules. We'll pay these three schmucks off. We'll swing it right back over to our favor. Money will buy democracy, brothers, sisters. Donald Warp Speed McNugget, McFrickin' Mac tonight, McChump. Remember, he was selected by the Fortune 500 companies as to put him in office. campaign funded by the Fortune 500 companies. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not an idiot. I know this system. I just told you how our judicial, legislative, and executive branch works. We're not a democracy. This isn't serfdom. That's what made this. And now look what they're doing. The Senate is giving literally the executive branch. Congress makes tariffs. Congress makes tariffs. Congress makes the law, not presidents. It's a bunch of mockery, brothers, sisters. Democracy, demonocracy, mob rule, brothers, sisters. This is not. And you stand by this system and you keep allowing this to happen, you will be judged by the law that you go by. So if you act as a corporate debt slave, he stood up to what was known as the Halakha and the Haggadah, which was the corporation of the day, the big boy club. They had gleaned all. Remember, if it fell off the back of the cart, it was supposed to stay on the field for the poor. I live in a farming community. We got pivots out here. All that extras that doesn't get cut down, that you could go in the field. And remember, they had made all their own rules and took all that for the poor. Father hates oppression. That's America. This is the money changers. America is the money changers. We have been using our SWIFT system, making people pay for oil for 50 plus years. 1973, remember, brokered off the Bretton Woods Agreement and started protecting Saudi, the OPEC nations. That's all coming apart right now, isn't it? Yeah, New Mystery Babylon is burning in the inside out, brothers, sisters, and people don't see it happening. You know, America's the bad guy. Remember, Mr. Warp Speed, he took office, not the first time he sanctioned, China washers went up, but the second he sanctioned everybody. Remember, he said, you either play with us or you're going to pay. He made everybody our enemy. He literally turned except for Israel, right? Israel was a man called Jacob, not a country. Get that through your thick skull, too. This is not a country anymore. This is a corporation. This is a debt slave where they nail people to the U.S. stock exchange and their W-2 dollars killed those Iranian schoolgirls, 150 of them. America. I hate this country with a passion. I hate this country. I'm not supposed to like it. Remember, don't hate the sinner. Hate the sin they commit. I hate the sin this country commits. I'm not supposed to like it. Good stuff, Sean. I had to sell all mine, but we bought the ministry. Heck yeah. Listen, Sean, I sold mine. Can we have this discussion? Sean, you don't have to tell me, and I don't want to dig into your pockets and get into your financial thing. But remember, gold and silver has always been money. Remember, they call this the white metal and the yellow metal. They sold Christ for 30 pieces of silver, remember? So, hear me out. I sold my metal. If you're going to hold on to it forever and give it to your kids, great job, man. Good job. Because remember, kings and queens put this away. In Rome, 1 ounce of silver would buy, or gold. Well, gold and silver valued the same in the 12th century. One was not more valuable than the other. But 1 ounce of gold, this isn't gold. I had to get rid of all my gold. But 1 ounce of gold would buy you a toga. I don't know what the thread count on a toga was back then. You could take your lady out for a nice steak dinner and buy a bottle of wine. That's what it would buy. You go anywhere. You look at this house. This looks like I live in the 1800s, right? I live in like an old cabin, right? You go in the 1800s, gold was $8 an ounce. That would find you the finest tailored suit that money could buy. You could have that hand tailored. You could take your woman out and get a nice steak dinner and a bottle of wine. What's gold sitting at today? At Atmex, not the spot price. I want to know, what is it for a gold buffalo today? Somebody look up Atmex. I want the out the door price to buy 1 to 19 gold buffalo. Or a Liberty, don't matter. What is it? I know what the spot price is, $4,500, 45 and change. It almost hit 5, but what is it to take a gold ounce, either a Walking Liberty or a Canadian Maple or a Harmonic or any one of these sovereign mints? No, it's more than $4,000. It's 4,500 spot before your premium. So, because there's a premium, we got to learn a little bit about that. So, okay. So I don't know what the out the door price is, guys. You have to go to Atmex, JM, SD, one of these bullion dealers or your local coin shop. But it is around $5,000. So we'll move forward. So back in Rome, finest toga money could buy off of 1 ounce of gold, a steak dinner for your lady, take her out and get a bottle of wine and share that and have a good evening, right? Come into the 1800s. Zoot suit. I don't know what kind of suit. It's near $5,000, right? So what is it right now? That, if I'm not mistaken, that same 1 ounce of gold that was in the 12th century will still buy you Armani. I think Armani's one of the nicest suits money can buy. Yeah, that's right. Go look at it, brothers, sisters. You can buy one of the finest suits money can buy today, an Armani suit, a nice steak dinner, and he'll take your lady out for a bottle of wine to dinner. It never loses its purchasing power. All dollars do is just go to zero. There's been 4,000 paper currencies, and every one of them turned into toilet paper. You can wipe the only ones that haven't sank are the ones that are currently currency floating around in circulation, but they'll sink too eventually. So gold and silver are money. Okay. Hallelujah. Anybody learning anything? Put a 1 in the chat. Could I get a what, a hallelujah? Anything. So I can see you're tracking with me, guys. Isn't that beautiful? It doesn't lose its purchasing power. So I think it was Sean said something about gold and silver. If you want to put it away for your kids, that's what's beautiful about it. This is why kings and queens put it away for generations. It holds its purchasing power. Put a 1 in the chat if you get it. 1 in the chat if you get it. It holds its purchasing power. It's not going to lose. Take, for example, we'll do the same thing. If you were in Grandpa in the 1800s, right? If Grandpa in the 1800s, he put $5,000 away for you in a mason jar and buried it on the back 40 and left you a note, says don't open it up until 2026 in the pagan calendar, right? Back in the 1800s, if he put $5,000 in gold, because it was $3 an ounce back in the 1800s, how many ounces of gold could you get for $5,000? Watch this, guys. This is insane. How many ounces of gold could you get? 3 divided by 5,000. That's a simple math. I have it in my head, but I want you to do it in your head too, so you can see the numbers. He could have put 5,000 in greenbacks, crisp 100. Now they'll have some nostalgic value or nostalgic or what is called numismatic because it might be collectible, but I don't care about that. What would they buy? Some of those you can't spend anymore, right? They don't have, silver certificates, and so they probably would be worthless on paper. So 3 divided by 5,000 is what? Somebody do the math. How many ounces? Tell me how many ounces could he have put in a mason jar? He either buried paper money or he took and put how many ounces? Could you get? $5,000. He didn't put it in paper. He knew his grandpa told him that don't pay for that. That's trash. Went through and talked to him about Rome and maybe talked to him about the same things. Roughly 1.5. No, 5,000 divided by $3. $3. 3 into 5,000. That's a lot of ounces, isn't it? Goes in 100 and how many, right? Well, hold on. Yeah, how many times does that go? 3 into 5,000. So, okay. We can do rough numbers, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect because we can still see where this is going, okay? Now times that by 5,000. What would you have rather Grandpa sit there and put paper in a mason jar? This is always going to hold its value, brothers, sisters, no matter what mint that it's attached to. You could be wearing something, the Cleopatra's earrings or something, because they refined it. They always, at least gold, always, like 98% of the gold that's ever been mined is still sitting here on the surface of this rock. So that's and so what's 1,600 if we just rounded times 5,000, guys? So it's always going to keep up with inflation. That'll pay for that $5.09 gas over here. That's in Silver Lake, Christmas Valley, where I live. That'll pay for $12 a pound ground beef, won't it? It's going to keep up with the inflation. Yeah, pre-64. So, junk silver. So, there we go. So, Sean, that's what I just want to let you know. Thanks for the conversation. I sold everything but my junk silver and this gold buffalo and my U.S. flag, whatever, so I can teach with the military industrial complex. But I sold all my precious metals because I know it's never wrong to take profit. Okay, it was hard to sell it. I've not only ever sold it once before to get an attorney. That was a waste of money, but I sold it for the ministry. And I'm telling you that I'm glad that I did. Nobody got over $100 for their metals anywhere. Even when silver went up to $131, nobody got that price for it. So I didn't get anywhere near that price, but nobody can pick the top, but I sold it and made enough money to get this ministry, electric, power, buy a house, septic, right? All that, permitting, all of it. Good stuff. That's fine. Just hold on to your, Sean, one day I do think that gold and silver will close 1-to-1, the ratio. And here, let me put it to you this way. Maybe this will inspire you. And I'm a silver bug, so don't listen to me, okay? Because I'm going to be a little biased towards the white metal. I kind of like the white metal. I know gold serves its purpose, so let's go into the conversation. Sean, and anybody else can answer this. If you got rid of all the gold on this rock, what would that change the world? Put it in the chat for me. If you got rid of all the gold, what would that change the world? In future tense, just think everything in the future, right where we're at right now. Everything's going on. Everything's go. What would that change the world if we got rid of all the gold on this rock? How much of effect? What would it change the world? Definitely electronics. They do. I mean, it's not widely used in electronics. It is used in circuitry. Silver is the most conductive, most reflective, even more than gold, brothers, sisters. That's why this is highly used. Okay? It is. Look it up. It's the most reflective, most conductive metal on this rock. So, if you got rid of all the gold on this rock, Jack says it might change the electronic world. But you can still use silver in gold and replace the gold. It still does the same thing. Remember, it's actually more conductive, the most reflective. That's why it's used in solar too, as well. I'm not saying that gold doesn't have an application, but see how little gold is used. You know what I'm saying? Right. There are certain applications. Okay. So there are finite small applications, right? For it. It works. It's a store. It told you it's a beautiful, store of value. I don't care what it looks like. People were kind of shy because it was yellow and it was shiny. And the beautiful thing is too, is it doesn't go anywhere. You can't blow up gold. You can blow up silver. They put 500 of these in the tip of a cruise missile and blow it up and it dissipates. You can't do that to gold. It doesn't go away. It has its purpose. It's truly an amazing metal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So if we got rid of all the gold, guys, I don't think it would change the rock that much, really. And NASA's not a space agency or never a straight answer, so I don't do any of that. That's a bunch of crap. But anyways, everybody can have their own thoughts because a belief is not a thought in your head. So moving on. It's not. It's a verb. It's an action word. So you got to put legs on faith. Faith is a noun. Still got to put legs on faith. So either way, if let's take and flip the script right now, if we got rid of all the silver on this rock, how much would that change the world? That's right, Sean. It's because, they blow it up, colloidal silver, all these data mining stations that literally eats the silver up, So if you got rid of all the silver on this rock, right, how much would that change the world? No AI, no robots, no drones, no war machines, no circuitry in the Navy, no more bombs, no more colloidal silver. You swipe, you pinch because of silver. Yeah, that takes silver. That takes silver. Yes, it does. Your screen swipes because of this metal right here. Okay, so hear me out, John. I do think that one day, if you'll hold on to your silver, hodl, hold on for dear life. Remember, it's never wrong to take profits. If you can pull your original investment and have extras, that's all profit. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. That's a win. Period. You didn't lose anything. Okay. Just hear me out. If you want to hold it, hodl, hold on for dear life, right? And hold on to this metal. I do think one day you will be able to trade 1 ounce of silver for 2 to 3 ounces of gold. Yes, I do. Because it's more used. I think it's a more valuable metal. No way, man. There's no way silver will ever be worth as much as gold. It used to be worth the same 1-to-1 in Rome in the 12th century. It's ever been 15-to-1. God's ratio is 8-to-1, 7 to 8-to-1. I call that God's ratio. That's what it comes out of the ground. And that is God's ratio because you can only ever have 8 of these each. Socialism, if they divided all of these up, socialism, Toba's got 3 bikes and Sean doesn't have one. So we're taking a bike from Toba, we're taking Toba's bikes and Sean's getting one and one too, or Jack's getting one, right? That's socialism. Like Mr. Warp Speed, he took all the money and he gave it to his buddies at Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson and the Koch brothers and all the paper, plastic, all that to go. Yeah, socialism. The number one socialist ever in the history of mankind, Donald Warp Speed Trump. Yes, he was. Still is. Nobody's been able to outpace and outspend him yet. So, yes, that is what socialism is, dividing up everything. That is socialism. So, don't argue with me, Jack. I'll moderate you dumbass out here. What's the difference between an ass is somebody who can't learn? What's the difference between socialism and communism? Just a matter of time. That is socialism. It's dividing all the property equally. Socialism. Everybody gets paid the same, just like communism. Yes, it is. Don't argue with me. Explain how it's different. How is that not socialism? So back to what I was saying, brothers, sisters. Some people are so lost. It's okay. I can't turn asses, somebody who can't learn goats into sheep. Goats are quite stubborn too. So, brothers, sisters, God's ratio is 8-to-1. If we pulled out all the metal on the surface and gave it and spread it out just like socialism, just like Donald Warp Speed Trump, how he gave it to the Koch brothers and you got $1,200 checks how many months later? Yeah, there's your socialism. What's the difference between socialism and communism? Once again, only a matter of time. One always leads to the other. So again, 8 of these, God's ratio, you're only allowed to have 8 of these, 8 each. So that means we divide them out. If you have 9, we're going to take one away. That's socialism and divide it out equally. Socialism. Once again, how stupid are you? It's almost like algebra. If you take something from here, you got to give it back over here. That's okay. Remember, the word nice means to be stupid. So, So socialism is dividing all the surface silver, brothers, sisters, and giving everybody 8 ounces. So if you have 9, you've taken somebody's silver. You have 10, you have taken somebody's only getting 7. People have safes of these, brothers, sisters. So careful. Let no one take your crown, okay? That's God's ratio. That's what I call it. Now, since 2000, the last 6 years, there's been a deficit. There's 200 to 300 million ounces. You're now talking about because you make a wrong in a definition. That is socialism, Jack. Honesty. You're going to say my honesty over because your definition? Eat a dick, okay? Get out of here, child. Go take your phallic worship somewhere else. Double stuff, okay, like an Oreo. Get out of here, man. I told you what socialism. You don't like it. Now you're going to tell me I'm a liar? Yeah. Kick rocks, man. Get out of here. Go away from here. Don't come back here ever again. Don't want you here. Come back where the lights come on. Children are not meant to be seen or heard. Come back when maybe you have a bulb comes over your head, when you figure out what socialism is. So get away from me. So you're an idiot. So, brothers, sisters, father's ratio is 8-to-1. That is what you would call socialism. And again, once again, the difference between socialism and communism is just a matter of time. If you study your historical record, one leads to another. They're very similar. The haves and the have-nots. The wealth gap just keeps expanding. That's capitalism as well. All of it's a bunch of nonsense, okay? Dislike, earn, moving on. Okay, well, kick rocks. I don't care about your dislike. I don't want you to like me. Remember, you're not supposed to be liked by the world. Thanks for disliking me. You're not the first person to dislike me. I could walk into a room and not even open up my mouth there, jack off, and people don't like me, okay? Sit there and tell me that I'm a liar. Goodbye. Why are you still conversating with me? You still had to put something because you couldn't walk away. Get away from me, Jezebel. Girl, don't go away mad. Just go away. So, Jake-ette. Take your pants off and Jake-ette. So, I don't care if people like me. I'm not here to be liked, brothers, sisters. You're not here to be liked by the world. Remember, if you're loved by the world, you be hated by my Father. Does anybody disagree that socialism is distributing all the wealth in a more of an even fashion, right? You're a bubblegum scraper off the school desk. You make as much as the doctor. That's like communism. They're very similar to each other. So the redistribution of wealth equally. Socialism. Bernie Sanders. Everybody's worried about Bernie Sanders, and Donald, the warp speed, spent $8.8 trillion in 4 years, outpaced his buddy Barack Obama, who spent 10 in 8. He spent 8.8 in 4. Even Kamala Allah Akbar couldn't outpace his spending with their buddy Joe. So, but that's okay. Not trying to change people like jack off. You know what I'm saying? Obviously you don't care, tribal, and you don't make your power, and you don't grow any food, and you're one of these people who don't put away for nothing, and you'll be eating somebody's arm off, be looking at your buddy like a big T-bone or a turkey leg like Foghorn Leghorn. Failing to prepare. You guys want to see a failure? Here's a failure. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You'll know them by their fruit. Bunch of fruitcakes, bad apples. One bad apple, it's the whole apple cart. So get them away from you, brother, sister. Don't hang around people like this. Remember, they hung them from a tree, not a cross. Remember, you're supposed to be crucified. So, no, you won't. You won't grow shit. You won't need how to grow out your ash from a hole in the ground, because remember, your dung, you're full of it. So you throw away your poop. You don't even say your own fertilizer. You're an idiot. So you don't even. What's wrong? Tribal. So you probably got tribal tattoos, huh? Those are pretty gay. So happy, remember? Happy, joy, or one of their Grin and Stippy. There people are animated. So let's go back to what we're saying here. We'll get back to what we're having the conversation. Right now, brothers and sisters, we're looking at some pretty serious supply chain shortages. I don't know what's going to happen with the price of precious metals, but we could see a spike. They're nice to have, but you should have water filtration. You should have, a portable water filter, something you can take and put on the road, with you. Okay, well, now you're going to catch the kick. Toba, get rid of tribal, please, for me. Bye, tribal. Kick rocks, Max, headroom. Remember? It's a Mac tonight. Get a little animated or something. Huh? Go eat some drive-through food, man. Go eat your goyim slop. Thanks for coming in. So, there's a lot coming down the pike, guys. There is supply chain shortages coming again, fertilizer, which is going to affect the food. So I'm going to move over here. We're going to wrap this up in a minute. I got things to do out here. I appreciate your guys' ears. Oh man, we're not even 9 o'clock yet. Good. So, what do we got here? Oh man, I got that appointment. All right, yeah, I got that appointment tomorrow, guys, for the MRI. So I have to get 3 MRIs and an X-ray. I'm not looking forward to being radiated, man. That's not going to be fun. So, that's right. Water is a purifier. So, again, I think one day, Sean, you'll be able to trade, some of these things, but make sure you got rice and beans, you got long-term food storage. Get away from people that are ill-prepared, who don't, even never even make the attempt. They're stuck in the system. They're stuck and they can't beat the loop, and they're running in a circle, and they don't ever make any evolution. They don't evolve. They don't grow thumbs, grow kickstands, lean on dumb. They go around the system and create their own system, and they become a master of their time and space, and they don't allow their time to be controlled like that. You're a low energy being if you're allowing them to master your time. You're not. You can take your time back and create abundance instead of shortages that are created. You can create abundance, but you have to do that. Nobody's going to come save you. The government's not good. The government's there to control your mind. That's what government means. Mental, mente, mind, govern, to control, mind control. That you are. Most people are very mind controlled. Bootlickers, they lick the boot system and they never even make any attempt to try to get out of it. So that is your biggest problem. Are ill-prepared people. The government is going to do what the government's going to do. You're not changing anything. You can see you're not voting your way out of tyranny. But what you can do is you can make your own system, become your own government, become ungovernable. How about that? Become ungovernable. Like, no, I am my own system. Go ahead and shut the chores down. I have a Mennonite, an Amish farmer. I raise my own. I raise rabbits. I got 10, pastor said I get 10 rabbits, 3 does, and $7 and raise as much as a cow. Honey, we're eating rabbit. Or get that tub of lard, and that's going to save us a grip load of money at the store. You can take back your time. You can take back your control of your food supply. Most people are never even going to try, brothers, sisters, not going to make an attempt to it. So I'm not trying to get anybody to do that. Okay. I'm just telling you what it is that I do. And if others, fall in the same narrow way, that's good. People are not going to, you can't force a goat, something stubborn like an ass. They don't move. They will not be taught. They have an unwillingness to learn. Brutish. So don't try to help people who don't want to help themselves. Seriously, give a man fish or woman, we're equally yoked, and then give them a fishing pole and then leave them alone. Father doesn't want you to keep giving away your fish. You need to have extra oil. Remember? You need to have extra oil. Remember, the wise virgins told the foolish virgins no. And that's hard to do if we're supposed to be charitable. There's a time and a place for everything, brothers, sisters. If you don't have abundance, how are you going to be charitable with others? You're supposed to be putting up for your children's children. You're supposed to have extra oil. You're not just supposed to be waiting until the store closes to panic and go, oh my God, what do? You panic before the panic. So you get to the store. Fear gets you up off your fourth point of contact so you can ease that fear. Probably some of the most mentally stable people on this rock right now are what people call the preppers. They went, oh crap, and then they did something about that. They said, they did something about that. They said, oh honey, oh my God, what? And they did something about it. And now they're out throwing fishing poles in the water, going and sightseeing, hanging out at the house, watching the sunset, drinking a margarita, smoking a bowl. I don't know, whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, take care of the people in your circle. That is charitable. And the only thing you have to give, Sean, is the gospel. You can give food. That was tithing, was food. Okay? Right. They call preppers crazy. But think about what I said, Toba. They've got this. Oh, my God, honey. Looks like Tornado Alley used to be over there near Texas, and we over here in Louisiana. It seems like it's all shifted, and we don't have a storm shelter. Oh, my God, what do we do? Well, let's get one, honey. Let's go look. All right, hey, that's a good idea. We'll get in there, and then the storm will blow on. We'll go on with our life. We got out, and the neighbor's truck was in our yard. We don't know where his house went. They're all gone. We haven't ever seen them again, but the keys were in it. And it landed upright right in the yard. I guess we're not going to be using that anymore. Scavenger perk, bitch, right? You're going to get out 15 minutes later and life goes on. Or you don't, and you go, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. The Wizard of Oz. I'm going to blow you over to the next town over. Or you could get down there for 15, 20 minutes and get out and move on with your life and not live in fear. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, brothers, sisters. It's better to have than not need than need not have, right? So tell your neighbors that you're putting in a cellar, a root cellar. Don't say the word bunker. Don't say the word. It's tell them you're putting in a root cellar. Go give them some canned tomatoes and they'll never bother you. Oh, those hippies over there, canned tomatoes. Who eats canned? We go to the store and get stewed tomatoes all day in the cans. These guys are crazy. In glass too. What is this? What are we going to do with this, honey? Is this safe to eat? I don't know if we should eat this or not, honey. As they're eating their goyim slop from the store, right? Boxed, bagged, and can-flavored poison. So do what you can, brothers, sisters. You can only do what you can, but you can slowly cut the system off. You can slowly become your own supply chain. Growing some tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket, in a basket in a hay bale is sticking it to the man. That's how you become ungovernable. Buying a water filter so that you can go on foot and have to go into the woods and forage so that you don't have to go into a work camp, right? Because you're so dependent and you've never fasted in your life. And the first time you've ever gone without eating is today. You're not going to be very, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You're not going to function very well. You're probably hypoglycemic, insulin dependent, you too much sugar, I'm there with you, Sean. I grew up and was born in the Mojave, went out, was born in the valley, so not right in the, out that far, but still part of the desert. It is. That's all part of, I was born in the San Fernando, but lived out there in the, Santa Clarita out in the county. Used to grow up going out to, El Mirage and Red Rock Canyon and California City, all that, growing up, all that, loved it out there. Grew up eating Fat Jacks and Flukies and Cupids and In-N-Out Burger and all that left coast. War doesn't decide who's right, it decides who's left. I grew up so far left that I thought everything right of the California border was coast. That's the California mentality, man. It's hard growing up on that left coast attitude, man. You think the whole world's right there. It's the melting pot, so it's kind of hard to what a mindset. But he said, come out of her, my people. But I'm out here too in the Oregon outback, and it's tough out here. It's even tougher, or a little bit tougher there where I'm at, because we literally do get hard freezes. I'm not sitting at like 45, 46, Table Rock 65, the mountains over there's 8,000. I'm higher than a B-2 bomber over Iran on Operation Midnight Hammer. You know what I'm saying? Out here at the rim of the Great Basin. So we do get a hard freeze, even in the month of the dog days of summer. In the first part of the day, we can get a total hard freeze and just toast your whole garden, man. So I built an outdoor. I'm trying to build a geothermal. But either way, guys, I got to wrap this up. I got to get something done, make some phone calls. I have 2 days to come up with a couple $1,000, and I'm going to try it. I got that truck up and on the yeah, we get that hard freeze from that. And it's just the first part of the day too, when the sun just first comes up. But once this is done, guys, we've knocked this thing out. So I am so stoked. That's what I sold my silver for. I ended up selling it, and I'm glad that I did. There's probably some things I took a little bit of a loss, but there were some things, obviously, that I didn't buy everything at the, those higher prices. So I had premium stuff though. I lost a lot of really nice stuff again, but it's okay. I would do it again. I would never, ever, I have zero regrets for taking that precious metals and throwing them at this ministry. It bought a building, it bought the septic, the electric, the power, the inspection. It's not going to actually, the power, it's just not going to buy the power itself. I have everything but I have the money for the inspection. I bought all the power, the pole, the box, the conduit, all that, the glue, all that. I just don't have the money that I'm gonna have to pay them. And that's what I need to get off here so I can try to get that done, guys. I just have 2 days, and it's not the end of the world. I don't have to have it done by then, but I want to get this done before it gets hot. I don't want to be trying to work in the summer. I already have a compression fracture on my vertebrae, and it hurts to dig a lot. It really knocks me down. Tomorrow I have 3 MRIs and an x-ray. So we'll see if I can get fixed. I wake up in pain. I go to bed in pain. I live with it. I manage it. But when I do some of those extenuating things like that, what I shouldn't be doing, it really, so I got to be able to try to do this as soon as possible. So they are coming out on Wednesday. So I will know Wednesday which power pole and the price. I should know then, and that would just make it so much, but I'd like to be able to say that day, if they say, hey, when can we come out and do this? You know what I'm saying? I'd like to say, hey, I'd like you to come out as soon as you can. So I'll need, let's hope, and Father will do whatever he wants. It's already written that is $2,300 and not 56. Because that's another $3,300. I just don't have it right now. I'm trying. I got that truck fixed yesterday. I worked on it. I got the starter in it. It started right up. I knew it would. The starter went bad. I think maybe even the starter was good. It might have just been the starter wire, but it needed replaced anyway. So I got that done. And I have that listed on the internet. So we'll see. I bottom priced it. It was leaking a little bit out of the transmission. So I just knocked the price out of it. It's on my marketplace. If you want to see, it's a 92 Ford 4x4 clean truck. I don't think it's ever been off road. I got it listed for $19.50. I was going to list it for $39.50, but I just need it gone because I need that $2,300 for the power bill. So I'm going to get her done one way or another. And that's the last big asset that I have to sell, because I did sell all my precious metals, but I'm glad that I did. And, it's probably, $10 to $12 under per ounce right now, what I got for it. So I am thankful that Father gave me the intuition to move it then. So exciting times, guys. I need to go because I have to do a little bit of laundry. I've got to wear some comfortable clothes tomorrow, and I need to get a couple things washed. So I appreciate you guys coming in. Appreciate your time. If you want to make a tithe to the ministry, help out monetarily, it's not required in any way, shape, or form. You know that. You never have to give anything to this ministry monetarily. Your comments and your time is what is valuable. Without the comments, it's just a YouTube channel. It's not a live stream. It's not a ministry. It's nothing. It's just another. I have 5 channels. It'd just be another channel. You guys make what this ministry. So don't feel that any way ever obligated to tithe anything other than awesome comments like you guys are leaving. You don't have to agree with everything I say. Correct me with the word. If you do have abundance, you can throw some money in the air. We did take a tithe yesterday. The largest tithe at the ministry. Yes, I'm off the grid. So I'm trying to get on the grid, Michael. I'm trying to get on the grid right now. You know what I'm saying? So that I can get the freeze dryer out here and run that until the system goes down. I might have been able to put a solar system in, but, it needs redone. And now I can power the whole, and I'm not one of these end of the world people thinks, that's the end of the world. I'm going to use this stuff until the world comes to an end, which it's not. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in fear like, oh my God, I do this so that I can have abundance, so that I can share later, so I can have more protein, so I can have better products, things I can raise, things that I can preserve in my own food so I don't waste. I have 175 eggs over there. I'm going to have almost 200 eggs for the end of the day, and I need to get them into preserved so I can give those back to the ministry. I put this on so I can give back to the ministry. This is a ministry. It's not I know it's a channel, but it's a ministry where people come in, and eventually I'll be giving back to the ministry. Nobody has to give a dime to me. This is my life. I just gave all my retirement away again, and I'm fine with that. I'm already starting to figure out new ways to retire. My new way to retire is going to be go to Vietnam and live off $1 a day. Go down to Ecuador, $500 is the average cost per month. That's with healthcare, a house, air conditioner running the whole time, 3 meals a day. Even in like Vietnam, the food I get that's cheap at the store is garbage. You go over to Vietnam and food is cheap, or create your own food, create your own abundance, have it in both places. See, that's what I want to get done. I want to get this ministry done so I can go travel and create more abundance in South America. Papaya, guava, straw, melons, all this stuff I would have a struggle to grow here, I can grow down there. I got in a little bit of a trouble because I was standing up for my son. I think he's gone now, my daughter, and there's nothing I can do about it, but over some stupid precious metals, but it is what it is. But I can't stop serving the ministry. So I got to stay going. I can't let my whole life come unglued because I lost, the only person I had in my life. It is what it is. The ministry is what I have. So if you want to be a part of the growth, just come back, put awesome comments. You never have to tithe a single dime. Tithing used to be food anyway. So I want to tithe back food. It's just what I want to do. It's just it's a bucket list thing. I'd like to see you guys eating protein eggs, like these eggs, and I'm going to go make some eggs for breakfast. I could make a bunch of them today. Have 30 to 40% more protein in them. They cost me more than your eggs, but I can water glass them. You can't water glass store-bought eggs. So there's a lot of advantages of having, the farm out here and doing what I'm doing, because it benefits. It gives me the ability to live a more organic life, more. He was a man of very few possessions, so I really don't care about the possessions here. But the ministry itself, I actually have another 20-acre parcel up the road that's got nothing on it, and I get to start all over again. Oh, that's a Tracy Chapman song. My bad. Start all over. Okay, guys, appreciate it. Leave comments. That's those thumbs up help people. We never did that before, but we're going to start doing that. The thumbs up, even like somebody said, the thumbs down help the algorithm. I don't care whether you thumbs up or thumbs down or not. I don't personally care, but we're supposed to share Yeah, no, that's fine. And you don't have to, Sean. That's fine. That's cool. Outstanding. Nobody's going to agree 100% with me. Actually, I don't want you to. You know what that'd be like? It'd be like marrying yourself. Don't do that. Don't marry somebody who's just like you. Sometimes opposites attract, brothers, sisters. You get tired of looking at yourself in the mirror all day. So you don't have to agree with everything I say, Sean. Appreciate it. No, seriously. But if you have something to correct me, use some historical record, use scripture with me, use something, correct me. If I make a mistake, we can have a difference in opinion, but if I'm making a mistake that you know that you have taken the time, how do you think I learned what I learned? It was a lot of it was from other people and their studies. You know what I'm saying? So if there's something that you disagree with, that's fine. But if there's something I've made a mistake or something, correct me, please. I can be corrected. Absolutely. Please correct me, man. I'm always in a study mode. I didn't get to this position by being a sponge that was overflowing. I have to take time to wring things out sometimes and discern, wring some of this off so I can keep my sponge open and empty enough to be able to absorb, right? You don't want to get too much. I mean, so that's what discernment works good for. So there's something that you can help me to narrow off that's poop, two girls in a cup. We can leave it out at the door and come back later and pick it up or something and then see if we can, squeeze a little bit of it off. Oh my God. I've never even seen that, guys, but I know what it's referring to. Oh my gosh, dude, that's horrible. Okay, thanks for your time. I'd be laughing. Okay, it's good note to end on. Appreciate it, Toe. Thank you. Thank God. Appreciate everybody coming in. Who do we have in here earlier? We had Raw was in here. Michael, even Jack Off came in here earlier, was putting comments and stuff. It's okay, guys. We don't have to agree with everything, okay? But do correct me if I make a mistake, please. I can be corrected. But if it comes to spirituality with the word, correct me with the word. Something I get wrong economically, historically, let me know, man. Let's correct each other. That's the word is there to reproof each other. So that's what we're here to do. Help each other out, keep each other in the narrow way. All right, guys, much agape and phileo. Again, links are in the description. There's a Cash App, Bitcoin. If you know what I mean, he's got any of those they want to contribute. Cash App as well. And yeah. And there's PayPal. So appreciate it. We're getting close, guys. We're almost made it to this point. The next thing I'm not done. I still have to get a feed mill and a freeze dryer, but we're well on our way. So thanks for being a part of this. Yesterday we went outside. If you want to see what was done out here, kind of did a tour of some of the outside area and buildings. If you want to see, it was beautiful too. Had a beautiful sunset, cotton candy skies. It was just gorgeous. Beautiful night last night. Temperature was beautiful. Really, other than my back being just going nuts last night, started going crazy. I had a really good day yesterday. So thank you again. I got a big day today, guys. I have lots to do. And I only do it. There's some things I just can never get done. So I better get off here and pace myself. Thanks again for your time, and come back when you have some more of it. Time is more valuable than money because you spent your time here and you can't get it back. You can't make time. You can go make more money. So again, support the ministry by coming back. Links in the description. Thumbs up, help the algorithm. Share any of this content. And I've never said that before because I don't particularly care about how many people are here. I ain't trying to get a YouTube button, but we are supposed to share the word. So if you want to share this channel to any platform, please do. And we'll see you again on the next live stream. Okay. And remember, live streams are when people interact. It's not a channel video. It's just content. Okay. I need by Antichrist. Okay, yeah. You don't even, Christ is something that's never even written in scripture. You're an idiot, Victor, like a rat trap, remember? It doesn't say Christ. So what are you referring to? Antichrist. Tell everybody what Christ means before we go. We'll take a pause. Go ahead, remember? I can be corrected. So go ahead. They're anti-Christ. What does Christ mean? Because it doesn't say that in the Old or New Testament. So are you a religious person? Hello, Victor. You wanted to try to get that in at the end, and now everybody's watching you. Father's inside of you. Remember, he's not in the sky. He sees what the whole world does. He sees your intentions. You thought you got away with it, didn't you? You ain't getting away with nothing. Nobody's getting away with anything. So go ahead there. Tell everybody what Christ means. Give everybody the definition, since you seem to speak yods, cosmos, and some kind of orderly arrangements. Go ahead there. Christ doesn't mean Messiah. That's Hamashiach. You're an idiot. You're a Nephilim. Christ doesn't equal Messiah. Hamashiach is the Hebrew word for Messiah. Christ means anointed in oil, and you're in dark light, dark oil. Remember, the eye is the lamp of the body. If it's filled with darkness, the whole vessel, the whole lamp is filled with darkness. You've added yods, you've added jots, you've added your old meaning. That's idolatry, pornea. So he did it again, stuck on dumb, and then make the same mistake. Christ is to be anointed in oil, and it never even says that, not even one time in the Old or New Testament. So who are you referring to? It doesn't say Christ in the Old or New Testament. So who are you referring to? Why are you referring to things that were never written in Scripture? That's the exact thing that he says not to do. You couldn't be more anti-Christ than that, right? You're either with Christ, you're anti-Christ. So speak up there. Remember, that's not what the meaning of Christ. The anointed in oil. Remember, you are a dark vessel. Your lamp is filled with darkness. It shows by your dialect, Victor. Remember, it doesn't say Christ in the Old or New Testament. So why do you say that? He said, don't do that. Remember the adversary, Satan? He's an accuser. The devil is an accuser. So why do you use a word that was never written in the Old or New Testament? Why are you in opposition of what the Messiah said? He said, don't do that. Don't add or take away. And you have done that. So why are you doing that? Why are you using a word that is not in the Old or New Testament? Father's the word. Remember, it didn't say Christ. So why are you using that term, Victor? You're lost, aren't you? You don't know what to say now. You're stumbling on your own iniquity. I'm not causing you to stumble. You did it yourself. You put in yods that were not in Scripture. So, see, once again. So you're referring to, oh, okay, bye Sonic the Hedgehog, bye Pokemon. You know, like I said, you're a video game. What's your Call of Duty skin? That's basically what you got when you don't even know what's coming out of your face. You don't even know what you're saying. Remember, you're speaking words that were never in the Old or New Testament. So make a comment about that, and we'll go. We'll see if you have anything. If not, you couldn't produce any fruit in here. You're a bad apple, one bad apple, darkness. Remember, little leaven, leaven's the whole lump. So you're making a complete ass of yourself is what you're doing. You waited till the very end to speak up, but then you don't have any definition. And then you add. That's called translation. Don't translate. He said, don't do that. So I don't even think you know who the Messiah is, the one who was anointed, who hung from a tree, not a cross. So thanks for coming in, showing the whole world that most people are evil, and most people don't ever take the time to define anything, and most people do exactly what the Scripture says not to. They add and take away from Scripture, and that's exactly what you just did. So thank you for proving yourself. You don't have to prove anything to me. You just show the whole world. This is an interweb. Everybody can see this. This will be up later. People will be able to see that Victor is like a rat trap. You're caught in a trap. You are. You're okay with this. You just sit there and tell yourself it's okay. You're not moving forward. You're stuck on dumb. I said there is no such thing as Christ, and you can even answer my question. It doesn't say that. So would you like to put yourself out there one more time before we go? Maybe you can reclaim, regurgitate, vomit. He said, if you're lukewarm, remember, I'll vomit you from my mouth. So can you tell everybody, why would you use a word that is not ever in the Old or New Testament? Why would you say that? Why would you refer to me as something that's not? Are you trying to put something scriptural on me? Or are you just referring to me as some like Mortal Kombat Hadouken or some kind of game? I don't know, Pitfall or whatever, cause one of mine to stumble. Better have a millstone tied around your neck and cast into the sea. Speaking about a dark pit, huh? So, why do you degenerate picking on people for no reason? Nobody's picking on anybody. You're an idiot, Ryan. You don't know what you're talking about, so don't come in here. He said, by Antichrist. I'm not picking on anybody. Now you want some attention. You want some attention there, Ryan? Okay. Nobody's degenerating anybody. I asked him, why are you using a word that's never written in the Old or New Testament? What the hell would you get that degenerating anybody? Anybody have an explanation for what's going on with Ryan's head? telling somebody don't use words, or why are you using, I asked him, why are you using this word? He's the one who called me Antichrist, by Antichrist, right? And then I asked him, there's no Christ in the Old or New Testament. How the hell would you get that I'm degenerating anybody, Ryan? What's wrong with you? You too much genetically modified food is what I think's wrong with most people. It's just TikTok rot brain. They got the TikTok rot. They can't concentrate for more than 20 or 30 seconds. And they just turn opaque. You know what I'm saying? So, would you want to answer his question? Says he won't answer my question. Ryan, why would somebody put Christ, say by Antichrist, when Christ isn't even anything written in Scripture? This is a ministry. Why would somebody use the word Christ that's never written in the Old or New Testament? Remember, you're either with Christ or you are Antichrist, but that was not written in the Old or New Testament. So that's what I was saying. So what is wrong with you, man? How do you get the fact that I'm degenerating somebody by asking them why they're using words? That's crazy, man. People are so strange. This is, brothers, sisters, when I was young and I figured out there's people like Ryan in this world, it scared the living crap out of me to know there's people who literally have these type of thoughts, brothers and sisters. They will twist everything you say and warp it, pervert it. Remember, he's the one who said it. I asked him a question. Christ, why are you using that term? How is that degenerating anybody? Would you like to explain yourself there, Ryan? You have made a complete ass of yourself. You know that? Well, let's see. I could be wrong. Would you like to make a comment, or did you leave? The comment section is what makes the ministry. Thanks. You're like that person when a First Amendment audit, you sit there being an idiot. And it's like somebody, you know what a First Amendment auditor is? You're being audited in here, so you know. This is a constant audit. So everybody's watching you, and you allow yourself to fall into the same, stupidity. I don't know. What are you coming here trying to be nice and saying something to me? Oh, you're being degenerated. Asking somebody why they're using a word that's not written in the Old or New Testament when he says not to add words, is it degenerate? Are you sure you're okay? Did you take the jab, Ryan? How many jabs did you get? Did you have them stick that cotton thing up your nose? That's how we vaccinate. You know how we vaccinate in the farmer? 1, 2, 3. That's how they vaccinate cattle, right? You know how they vaccinate sheep? 4, 5. Is that what happened to you, Ryan? I'm just asking once again. I don't know. What would get your thoughts for me asking somebody why they're using Scripture when he says not to? Just asking a question is degenerating them. That's such a strange mentality. It's such a strange mindset, brothers and sisters. People don't want to be corrected. And I wasn't corrected. Remember, I was asking him. He's the one who accused me, said I was Antichrist, by Antichrist. So we didn't end it. We stopped. We said, oh, okay. Not out of being facetious, not out of anger, not in any, just asking him. And then somebody has to come in and say that I'm degenerating somebody for asking somebody a question. These are the people, brothers, sisters. I guarantee Orion does not have any kind of mentality on how to survive any kind of long-term, any kind of anything. If he's that traumatic, if he's traumatized by me trying to have a conversation with somebody, I don't think people like that are going to offend too well. That's the kind of people I would be concerned about if I was you. Not the people who are prepared, remember? Not the preppers, the tinfoil. They've already done. They've already panicked. They've already said, oh, crap. It's people like Ryan. Oh, what do you do? That Ryan's the kind of guy that'll sit there and watch a woman get her ass stomped by another guy and film it. Ryan's that kind of guy. Anybody disagree with me before I go? I really think so. I think Ryan is that kind of guy. He'll sit there and watch a woman get her ass stomped by another guy and film it, and sit there and watch it on film. They same kind of guy. Probably don't put the ice cubes back in the tray. Don't put toilet paper back on the roll. Don't hold open doors for people. He's in his own little world. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I don't know what people like that. It's a strange mentality to me. So that's what I'm saying. When I was real young, I started thinking about people just like Ryan, and I was like, Father, please don't make me stay here. Please don't make me be in this world. I don't want to be here. Please take me, go back to where I was. This is not my home. I don't like this place. I don't think like anybody. And most people I know, they think like Ryan. And it just scared the living piss out of me. I was young. I was probably 6, 7 years old. And I said, Father, please take me home. Do not keep me here. I don't want to be here. Please don't make me stay here and torture me. I'm crazy or everybody else is crazy. And so I'll just be crazy and everybody else is normal, right? Everybody else is fine, right? Okay, so see why I like people, brothers, sisters, until they open up their mouth and start talking. So kind of like Ryan there. So okay, much agape. Thank you, Tova. Appreciate it. Hey, it's worth it, man. You know, people are so strange, man. I ain't trying to be them, but I can't. It's so hard for me to put myself in other people's minds, man. I just there is. I don't think anybody can make it 1 hour in my mind. You'd be calling for the padded room, running towards the, let me out of here. So that's okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that nuts. It's 5:09 here, and it's not going to get any cheaper. It's not. The thing that people can't figure out is all these boats. Everybody's celebrating all these boats over here. The reason why our diesel is the price that it is because we're shipping it out of our country. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Nobody hung from a cross, mister. You're an occultist. Nobody hung from crosses. So that's Antichrist. Cross is pagan. Nobody hung from crosses. So you need to go back and read the book of Acts. You need to study Roman torture. Stop being religious. Religious waters you down. So that's not what happened. So go back and study. So, okay. But again, we're selling all these people, celebrating these boats coming here because they can't get out of the Strait of Hormuz or go over there. They're coming over here. Every time they do that, that's going to make our oil most expensive. You know what I'm saying? That makes the diesel more expensive. We'll have plenty of natural gas. We were and are the largest distributor of natural gas and will probably continue to be, but we're not going to produce more this year. We'll probably top up, but the diesel price is going up. Diesel was always cheaper in the U.S. than was regular gas. Well, they don't have regular, but unleaded now. That's because we're shipping all of this out. It wouldn't be that price if we would keep it here, but we don't. So that is why your diesel is $8 because we're shipping out all our oil. It's supply and demand, brothers, sisters. So you think diesel is expensive now? You ain't even seen nothing yet. You think food's expensive now? It takes natural gas, and they are cutting that off in other countries, okay? And they're buying it here. That's going to make it more expensive. So nothing is going to get cheaper. There's nothing showing that things are going to drop down. Oh, when we pull out of Iran, even if they pull out of the Strait of Hormuz right now in the Gulf of Persia, this would be 6 months in the making that it would probably take to correct this. There's like turning on a hose, and then there's an air gap. We haven't seen that air gap yet. We're about ready to, that's what we're starting to see. So that's why we're just starting to see a rise in prices. What was the Shanghai, or what was it? Not Shanghai. Where was that over there? $248 a barrel they were paying for oil. So the paper price, once again, is just like silver and gold. There's no connection to the physical. If you want to hold physical oil, you have to have the barrel, you have to have the oil, you have to have the facility. That's a different price than all these facilities going offline. Look at that place that just got bombed in Russia now for like the 4th time. Nobody's talking about that. Every time all these, and they're not working at full capacity, they're shut down. They need to have at least 60% operating capacity in most of these oil rigs to keep them going. Otherwise, they automatically shut down. They're already running very volatile. So probably a lot of these oil rigs and a lot of these refineries are actually having issues because there's not enough oil to keep in them, or they're just not keeping them up, because everything's getting so expensive, just preventive maintenance. So less and less oil, less and less oil, less, and nobody even seems to put two and two together that this is just going to make things more expensive. And then if we sell all the oil in the U.S., it's not going to make anything cheaper, period. So, period. It's just not. It's going to get worse. Look at what they just said about Germany. Speaking of Hamburg, you know what I'm saying? We're literally sanctioning our own allies. So this isn't going to last, brothers and sisters. We can't keep printing $1 trillion a day, or every 100 days and be sustainable. So everybody else is fleeing the dollar. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only person that has a chemtrail tattoo on their body. How about that, Mert? I literally have a chemtrail tattoo on my body. I've had it for 10 plus years, something like that, for a long time. So, again, this is ridiculous. We've literally turned on our own allies, Canada, Mexico, Germany, all these places, brothers, sisters, that you can burn both those flags, by the way. I hate flags. Flags are the stupidest thing. I've seen people kill each other over a rag right in front of my own eyes over a rag. So don't wave your flags in here, please. I wipe my ass with the American flag. Oh. I'm a veteran. I didn't defend the flag. I didn't defend horrible people that are in this country. I didn't defend the horrible country itself. It was the right of the people and not a flag. So stop flying flags, guys. Flags are stupid. So they're not the right of the people. I've literally seen people kill each other. Literally were friends from elementary school, junior high school, and high school. And overnight they became mortal enemies over a rag. So I just don't like flags. It's all of them. It's not the German flag. It's not the American flag. It's all flags. I don't take an oath I took an oath to the right, to the constitutional right of the people, not a flag. So if you fly your flags in here, I'm probably going to say something. So, you're horrible. Okay, whatever. Thanks. So the end is nigh, and only Jesus save. The world is passing away free. That is such hogwash. There is no such thing as Jesus. The word save, you have to die to be saved. Nobody's being saved. That's sozo, the Greek word sozo, salvation. That's to be carried, lifted from beginning point to an ending point. So, dog, you're not a dog. You're a wolf. So, you're a viper. There is no J. So get away from me. Leave, dog. Go. Get out of here. God is a title. You speak like or let me guess, you're a Christian. You're a Satanist. Get out of here. Get away from me. I'm not trying to bring anybody to Father. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So there's no such thing as accepting Christ. Baptism is by fire, or not by water, by blood, by trial. So there is no water baptism. There's no free will. There's no luck. Lucifer, that was never written in the Old or New Testament. Never once will you find that word Lucifer, just like you'll never find the word Jesus. It's never written there. It's just not there. So there's no J. It can't be, because there was no J. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Pride, Mert. There you go. Mert's got. I don't know why they wouldn't show it. Back to what I'm saying. But sisters, we're supposed to be coming together, not fighting over flags, or we're supposed to be standing up for the right of the people. And when I took an oath, it was to the constitutional right. Remember, Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. Okay, that's what I defended. And I didn't know what I did at the time, as far as where I was going to get myself involved, but I knew that I was serving the right of the people. I was willing to lose this flesh to know that it would help other people. Okay, so don't fight over flags, guys. We need to unite, come together. That's what they want. They want you to fight. Red team, blue team. Fight over flags, fight over rags, fight over. How about rights? I didn't defend a flag. I didn't defend this horrible. I hate America with every stitch of my fiber. I hate this country. I hate what it's become. You're not to hate the sinner. You're to hate the sin they commit. Like taking the Lord's name in vain is calling him Jesus. There is no Jesus. Stop saying that. That's a worthless name. It has no value. It's a translation. Stop being a translator. Stop making up your own version. If you sat down and read the word, brother, sister, do you realize, you know, as a military veteran, we're not supposed to be outside borders. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Father birthed me to be a service to other being. I couldn't help myself. I still run into major problems, and my life is upside down right now because of my service to everybody else. I took my own retirement and put it at the ministry. So when I go to town, I can't even buy a burrito. I haven't had a burrito in 6 months, but the ministry is taken care of. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? So why are you cause all the wars? Yeah, that's true. But remember, who brought us into war with Iran? Mr. Warp Speed, same person that brought you the jab. So Dusty, if you go look at, I did a video 13 years ago on America Ever After. I've been doing YouTube for, you know, over 12 years. And I put out a video about the condensation trails, right? Which was obviously cloud seeding, different, you know, and then started putting out information about all the different barium, strontium, you know, aluminum, you know, yellow mold spores, cow blood, all the different things that they spray us with, which again, heavy metals are absolutely horrible for your body. That's the onset, you know, with heavy metals. The Alzheimer's normally causes. There's a lot of stuff that's in these, you know, there's just so much information out there. It's not, you know, it's so much different than it once was. They have these dark chemtrails now. They don't even spray up the lighter spray. They've got that backdrop, you know, and it just never stops. You know, RFK said when he came into office, they were going to stop doing the spraying in Florida. And there's nowhere that they don't spray, brothers, sisters. Nowhere. I have not seen in Antarctica pictures. There's just, it's the whole, it's what it is. It's called, that's a conspiracy theory. There's no such thing as conspiracy theory. So don't ever use that term again or you'll be kicked out of here. Okay. That's not a conspiracy theory. Oh my God, get out of here, Dusty. You're an idiot. Leave now. This is not theory anymore. This has all been released. Aerosolic radiation management. What about that guy in California that flooded out and got sued? Get out of here, Dusty. Go. That's the problem with people, brothers, sisters. They 4 of you are right and 1 of you is wrong, but Dusty won't listen to you because he's more concerned maybe about bunker, you know, fuel like the boats or industry or, you know, CO2 is plant food, the smallest trace gas element of all the gases in our atmosphere. People are afraid. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no such thing as Jews. There's no such thing as Jews. There is no letter J. Jew is a modern term. There's no Jesus. There's no Jews. There's no Lucifer. There's no free will. There's no luck. Aerosolic radiation management. Okay. No, every conspiracy. Don't use the word conspiracy in here. That's a term cloaked by the CIA. Do you work for the CIA, Dusty? Shut the hell up. Get out of here. I told you to leave. Okay? So, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. They've already come out. There's literally thousands of images of all these sprayers and the different aerosolic, you know, orifices opening, but you don't take the time because you're stuck down one rabbit hole. So get out of here. Don't ever come here again. I don't want you in here. You're the adversary. You're stuck in a box. Get the hell out of your box. We talked about dimensions. You're stuck in a box. You unfold the box, you get across. Go hang yourself somewhere else, okay? You're not welcome here. Leave. Barium, strontium, brothers, sisters, aluminum, mold spores, cow blood, yellow mold spores. Look at what they're spraying us with. They've been spraying us with this for decades now. This isn't theory anymore, okay? And you're still putting shit in here. You're wrong than 2 little boys in Epstein Island's closet. Get out of here. Freaking idiot. Look at our freaking vegetation, brothers, sisters. Look at these forests. A lot of these forests are suffering horribly just from the aluminum that's sprayed on us. Brothers, sisters, you take aluminum and you polish aluminum and make a mirror. You ever been to jail? You ever been to prison? Yeah, that can't be glass. They would, yeah, it's aluminum. and you polish aluminum and you make a mirror, correct? Yeah. They've got a big show they're going to be put on up above your head there in the stratosphere, the top of our atmosphere. So don't talk about things if you don't have any other idea what you're talking about. They've been spraying us for decades. This is not being hidden anymore. Aerosolic radiation management, they spray the aluminum to refract the radiation that's coming from the solar sun. Otherwise, we'd be bombarded. And look at the sun. It's hard to go stand out in that white sun right now. Tomatoes that are full sun have to have some shade now. This sun is not the same sun it once was. So don't be an idiot. They're spraying us because they're helping us, but it's also hurting us. Okay? So it's a double-edged sword, brothers and sisters, but why are they putting all these other things in there that are unnecessary? Yellow mold spores. Why are we being sprayed with cow blood? Barium, strontium. Look at what's in this soup that they're spraying us with. For people to deny this stuff right now is just, it's moronic, brothers and sisters. They're like waffle fries in the skies. It's like a grid pattern up there, like you're doing algebra. It's ridiculous how little people even care about it. But I have been talking about it long enough. Again, I'll show you here. I better get off here in a minute, guys. I'll stay in here if somebody can produce fruit. I don't have it. This is my job. I mean, I have to get this ministry up, but this is what I do. So if somebody's actually talking worth of crap, I'll stay in here. But I take chemtrails serious enough that I don't think there's another man on this rock that's serious enough to go ahead and 10 years ago, don't tell me that this doesn't exist. Why would I put that on my body if it didn't? It's scriptural too, brothers, sisters. Okay, he'll be able to change times. Yeah, this also changes the weather. Would create different kinds of weather patterns, which would come in different times. So, you ever seen anybody with a chemtrail tattoo? Well, now you have. I don't think there's anybody else on this rock. And I got that years ago. Okay, so people were thinking that I was nuts back then when I got that tattoo. You go to your artist and say, I want a chem. He's like, chem what? I said, never mind, just put this on my arm. Okay. So, anybody else that's got a chemtrail tattoo? Get away from me. Stop telling me these things don't exist. They're over your head every single day. They're just spraying us like we're freaking bugs and nobody seems to care. So I care. I care enough to mark my body with a chemtrail plane. How about that? Anybody else got a chemtrail plane on their body? So that's how serious I take chemtrailing. So, pretty serious dude, aren't I? I guarantee I'm not above. I am equal to every other man, but there is not another single man on this rock like me. Never will be, ever. Father didn't make another one of me. So, and even if I had a doppelganger and they open up their mouth for about 2 to 3 minutes, it wasn't me. So you can't clone me, okay? So honestly, who wants to be like you? Well, guess what? Not you. Get out of here. Kick rocks. That's what kind of fruit you're producing. So no, you're not. You're a child, David. David, remember, what's the number of maturity? What's the number of maturity in Scripture there, David? I'm listening, David. Go ahead. You too, Anna Banana. You're not honest. You're a viper. I don't want anybody to be like me. You guys are idiots. You guys take what I say and your ego and your pride gets in the way. You're wrong. Remember I said I'm not better than anybody. You're an idiot is what you are. You have no idea what you're talking about. So David is an idiot. He don't know what he's talking about. Okay, so no answer. Ha ha, you're going to laugh. Laugh at other people's pain. He's the kind of guy that'll kick you when you're down on the ground. That kind of guy. We've seen David. Now he showed his fruitcake. Thanks, fruit. You're out of here. What about you, Anna Banana? Let's see what kind of fruit you're going to produce. Produce some fruit or get out of here. You guys are vipers. What's the number of maturity? I asked you a question. I don't want you to ask me questions. I want you to answer the question I asked you. Don't talk about children. You must be innocent as a child to return to father. You don't know anything about innocence. None of us are innocent in here. All of us fall short of the word. So all of us are filthy rags. Okay? So I'm not an only child. I had brothers that are vipers that wanted me to be like them, and I didn't want to be like them at all. Oh, I look just like him. I could go to my older brother's school, his classes. My younger brother could go to mine. We looked almost identical. So I didn't mean over the top. I said, what kind of fruit can you produce? Just produce. That's all I asked you. I said, what kind of fruit can you produce? Produce some fruit. That's it. So I don't want to be like anybody else. I'm not like anybody else. I don't talk like anybody else. Okay? Stay in here for a minute. You'll see I don't talk like anybody you've ever met in your entire life. No, I don't. And I don't want to be like anybody else. Does it make me better? No, not at all. I didn't say I'm above anybody. I just said you can't clone me. I don't speak like most people. He is in no way positive. Yeah, you're an idiot, Anna. See, you don't produce any fruit. See, I am positive. You went back on this stream, you would see we were talking about producing food and getting out of the system. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't curse at all, but I'm going to go ahead and curse at you. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're a fruitcake. They've been talking about how to get out of the system. This is a positive thing. It comes with resistance. A bird cannot achieve lift without resistance. Get out of here with your positive crap. The word nice means to be stupid. Get off of this. Is a family affair. This is the mother of all channels, and you're not welcome here. Anna, get away from me. You had the ability to produce fruit, and that's what you came up with. You're a Jezebel. Get away from me. I don't like your Jezebel spirit in here. We're talking about growing gardens. We're talking about getting out of the system. We're talking about ways to beat the system. We talked about Mennonites and Amish and growing food and freeze dryers. And you're in here worried with your ego. You're lost. You're lost. It's okay. Okay. No. Produce some fruit in here. Remember, I said that. And the banana. We're all a bunch of fruit cakes. Remember, one bad apple upsets the whole apple cart. But you took it personally. There you go. Plant your own animals, grow your own food. It's Christ-like. It's not. Father hates cities. Father hates capitalism. Father hates pride. Remember towers? They built up towers trying to reach the stars, Hollywood stars. Here you go again. Same thing. Famous, trying to be famous, trying to be, get lost, man. You know what I'm saying? So. Well, no, the rules is you have to produce fruit, David. That's it. The rules aren't complicated. Produce fruit or get out of here. Kick rocks. Put something of some value in here. You want to be entertained. There's hundreds of channels on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. There's lots of channels, and we do have fun in here. We laugh, we giggle, we sing, we do all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? In here. But more than anything, we make sure we're producing fruit, clean fruit. No bad apples allowed in here. He said don't sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls before swine. So if you're going to put some low energy talk in here, we're not going to have you in here. This is a ministry. It's not a channel. If it's a channel, I would just produce videos. And I already have 5 channels that do that. This is a ministry. This is the mother of all channels on YouTube. Okay? So one person's, David, listen, did you see that one person just called me negative? And David calls me positive. Guys, nobody thinks about you the way you think about yourself. And I was just telling you how I felt about myself, right? Who I think I am, right? Nobody thinks about you the way you think about yourself. David thought I was positive. Anna thought I was negative. Same conversation. You see how that works, brothers, sisters? You are the only person that thinks about you the way you think about yourself. Nobody thinks about you the way yourself. You know what I'm saying? Some people think, hey, this guy's crazy. Some people, hey, that guy's smart. Some people think, this guy's He never shuts up. This guy, man, hold on, say more. Nobody's going to think about you the way you think about you, brother, sister, just so you know. You know what I'm saying? So, yawn. Does anybody want to talk about gardening? What's the yawn for? Hold on. Dutch, what's the yawn for? Because we will talk about gardening. That's a great subject to talk about in this ministry. We do talk a lot about food and gardening. So, well, why the yawn? What, are you tired? He said the enemy came and sowed seeds while you were sleeping. Remember, to sow seeds? Oh, well, you want it all your way. Well, guess what? It's not Burger King. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us, right? Life's not Burger King. You can't always have it your way. So we can talk about gardening. Go ahead, spit. Tell somebody about gardening. What are you growing this year? Did you see the garden? Some cannabis. Cool. I'm growing some cannabis. I toasted 3 of the plants that I had. They just got toasted, man. So, okay. Goodbye, Don. You're an idiot. Bye, Don. Thanks for coming in. Don't come back. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. We would have shared some fruit with you, but you want to sit there and turn me into a psychiatrist or a psychologist. So that's all right. Remember, third rock from the sun. Sit down on the rock, the bench, lay down, get off your knees. I know when I've been licked. No, just kidding. All right, guys, what are you doing to grow food? What are you doing to grow food? We'll talk about gardening now that Dawn has left the building. Remember, to the break of dawn, like Donkey Kong. So, what are you growing, guys? Are you having anything up at the windowsill? Container gardens are a great way to go. Vertical gardens, you can grow in 1 acre of food. You can grow what would take 50 acres to grow. Like, what was it? World War II, 40% of the world, here on this rock that we walk in America, we're told to grow victory gardens, and now less than 1% of the populace grows their own food. They just eat the goyim slop. So when somebody comes in here and puts a bunch of crap, it's probably because our diet. They eat crap. They intake crap. All they do is eat crap all day. They're just a big poop cycle, goes in one and comes out the other. So, avocado tree, are you be able to get any to do? I haven't been able to, hey, Joe, but don't give your eggshells until you cook them. Remember, you got to bring the heat up on those eggshells because it takes time for that to break down. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I put eggshells in my garden for years. You got to bring them up to temperature to release the nutrients in them. So you got to bake your eggshells. Do you have eyebrows? Hi, Evan. They say Adam bit an apple, but he never found where it said it was an apple. He didn't take a bite out of the apple, David. You know that. He had sex. They laid with the serpent. Who told you were naked? So, or grind them is another way. But if you'll heat them up and then grind them, it's even faster. I mean, if you want to jump that, if you want to time release it, you could do that too. So that, food for thought, right? That way over time, it's probably good to add both, right? But if you want to quick put that nutrient, get them, bake them, grind them, and then they'll go right into your soil. They'll absorb much quicker. Put some others in there, and over time, it would break out. So that right, it wasn't an apple. No, he took a bite out of the apple. So, okay, well, David, remember, he said, who told you were naked? They had never, remember, nakedness was, they were naked, and they never had the desire to know what sex, or they weren't even covered. Remember, when you look at somebody like a man, if you were naked, you would want to take them, right? Think old school, think caveman. Come on, think about what I'm saying. That's what was taken from them, their innocence. That's why he said, who told you were naked? Because they laid with the serpent. Remember? Both of them. They had never done that before. They didn't even know what that was. But he had taught them, obviously, and gave them the deception, and then they lied with the serpent. That's why he doesn't want us to lie, right? With vipers. Do not sup with vipers, just like in the garden, the original sin. Don't take anybody's innocence, brothers and sisters. He said we must be innocent as a child. Brothers and sisters, the original sin, remember, that was the original sacrifice of the original sacrifice because of our regressions, because we didn't listen to Father. Remember, he said you could eat from any tree in this garden, but do not eat from the tree of knowledge, right? Bis. It's knowledge, is the word bis. He said, my people shall perish for lack of bis. They will gnash teeth in the abyss, right? So they like to candy coat it, brothers and sisters, but that's what happened. Remember, because if could you sit there with a beautiful woman, right, and see her naked and not take her, right? That's what the naked was. That's what that was referring. That's why Father said, who told you you were naked? They didn't even know that they had, and then they'd felt bad. Go read, and I don't ever recommend reading anything outside of scripture, but read the book of Matthew. Look how many times they felt horrible for what they did and tried to take their own lives over and over, because of they realized what it is that they had done. Remember what Adam said, so, but hey, that's right. They didn't listen to him. So there ain't no tree of knowledge, bro. You don't have any idea. Don't call me bro. I ain't your brother. You're an adversary to me. I can already tell. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, so we won't condemn you. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're eating from the tree of life right now. Knowledge, bis. You just don't know what you're talking about. So quit being an idiot. Smooth, poos. What kind of name is that? Smooth poos. You dump, man. So science. Okay, whatever. You're an idiot. Get away from me. You don't even know the scientific method. Tell everybody the scientific method there, poos. You're full of crap. Tell everybody the scientific method. Come on, I'm listening. So you're so into Bill Nye, the science guy. I bet you're in a box. I'd almost guarantee you're locked in a box. We'll see. Tell everybody the scientific method. I use it often. I'm an investigator. She blinded me with science. Bits and pieces, pots and pans, bits and pieces and weird science. Waiting. Gonna play some background music for you. Doom, 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 doom. You want me to phrase it in the form of a question? Doop, boop, 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 boop. You said that before, but that's not true. David, you said that before. You find Father in truth. That's not true. You can discover Father through definition. Stop putting that. That's nonsense. You can. Not every single thing. You're not supposed to discover everything. You need to go back and learn. Don't quit putting that. That's not scriptural at all. So start reading the definitions of every word, and everything you ever had pondered and wondered every answer to every problem that you ever had is all in the scripture. Yep, you caused your own problems, and the scripture would have corrected you, but you didn't listen. So don't be putting haikus in here. That's not, it is possible. Start studying one word at a time, and the definition, and the word will come to life, and seeking ye shall find, asking you shall receive, knock, and I will come sup with you. All these things will be revealed. The aletheia, the truth, the tree of knowledge. So it's not true what you're saying. You're not going to discover everything, right? But it is possible through definition. So, but remember, we're not supposed to try to discover everything on this rock, are we? No, we're not. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. What is that? The laws of flesh, Old Testament laws of flesh. Remember, we're not under the Old Testament. Those who add jots and tittles to scripture, works of darkness, you'll know them by their fruit. One bad apple. It upsets the whole apple cart. Who's laying an egg out there? Who's cutting it up? What are you guys doing? Almost sound like, is that you, Mr. Rooster? Hey, the Rooster. All right, we got to get off here, guys. It's about 9 o'clock, isn't it? All right, it's after 9, guys. I got to get off here, make some phone calls. We have 2 days until the engineer comes out from Mid-State Electric. They're going to tell me which power pole that I need to string power from. At that point, we can go ahead and get the ditch dug, and hopefully before, the end of this month, we'll have a solid power source, and I'll start trying to get a freeze dryer so we can start. I have about 200 eggs right now. I have more than that. I water glass some, but I need to get that freeze dryer to be able to, freeze dry these eggs. And even if I don't, I could use a dryer, or an oven to do them that way, because you can powder out eggs as well. So I got to get going, guys. I have so much work to do out here. It's ridiculous. So I've got to get some laundry done for tomorrow. I've got to get some comfortable clothes to wear inside that stupid radiation chamber. They're going to MRI me. So 3 MRIs tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to be doing tomorrow, guys. I might come out whooped tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I've had multiple MRIs before. I didn't feel very good after I came out of there. So I was in my 30s last time I had this done. So I got to go because I can't work at a breakneck speed anymore like I was when I was 20. I'm 50 and I've got a compression fracture in my vertebrae. And so I've just got to pace myself. So I better go. Thanks. I don't mind staying here a little bit longer. I do appreciate it. Thanks again for staying in, Toba. If you're ever out in the area and you're in the high desert out in the Pacific Northwest and you're a regular subscriber to this ministry, you're welcome to come out here. I don't want to charge you to come out here and stay. There's a ton of sightseeing, cabins out here that have built out. So dry camp for now, but once this electric goes in, guys, that changes everything, man. There's just a lot of changes coming. So I need to go so I can try to relist this truck or list it on some more platforms. I have a pickup truck that I'm selling. So maybe that will sell in the next couple of days and I'll have the money that I need to get this done. It will be done. That's like $100,000 on this project and we're done. I mean, there are always more improvements, what I'm saying, to be done out here. But this is definitely something that has been a work in progress. So it feels so good to be, we're right there, guys. You know what I'm saying? We are right there. We are so close. And I'll update you with everything that goes on. So you'll see all the, you'll see all the progress that we made out here. So come out here if you have a chance. You guys, I told you, I would be so amazed if somebody would come out here and live on this property. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to come out here and enjoy everything that's here. I want to be eating eggs with you right now. I want to cook you some breakfast. These eggs are amazing. I want to sit out at night and share the gospel under the stars. I want to, enjoy this property with others. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make it as hospital as I can. I know for 10 years I've been off the grid, but I do think in future that this will help others to come out here. I just wanted people to build it with them ground up with me. So this would feel like your home. Remember, I didn't purchase this land for me. I purchased this to build the community. And now it has become the ministry. So it's not going anywhere. It's taken a long time coming, but I do feel as if this in the future that this will, it will be more inviting if there's a flushing toilet out here. So you don't have to use a composting toilet, which I have to clean that today, guys. I've got to clean mine. It's about 3 weeks and I need to, if it gets any heavier, I'm not gonna be able to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's stealing any money, you idiot. I don't get a paycheck, you dumbass. Remember, I work for what I have. Everything is bought and trade and sold it out here. Horse trader. I don't pay taxes. I trade. You're an idiot. Go back to working and paying taxes and letting them steal all your money and kill Ukrainian and Iranian children. Good job, idiot. You're talking about. So, future tense, brothers, sisters. There is a lot of abundance out at this ministry. If I could eventually get more hands out here, I have hesitated to bring anybody out here because I don't want anybody out here that's not in the narrow way. I can't think that have somebody out here that's not in the narrow way and me constantly talking about scripture. It's going to rub them the wrong way. They're not going to like it here and they're going to leave. I don't want them here. If somebody can't talk about, I could leave somebody alone. I've had people stay on this property before, but not at the ministry. You know, I helped a couple out so they can move down the road. I've helped some people out. We're in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? But I have so much abundance that I can't share it. And it just drives me. It's heart-wrenching that Father has given me all this abundance and I can't share it. So I don't want to take anything from anybody, guys. I want to give. It's what I am. I joined the military at 17, willing to give my flesh for the cause. And I still look at my life right now. I got my son killed and daughtered because I stood up for him, and got my own son and daughter probably killed. You know what I'm saying? So, and here I am still going, even alone in this world with nobody. I have no connection to anybody, but it doesn't stop me from doing what it is that I need to do. I told my son, I'm just your dad. I'm not your father. I'll have to meet you on the other end, man. So if he's alive, he's alive. I don't think he is. You know, and my daughter, I don't think they are. But I have to keep going, guys. I have to keep going. There's nothing in this world for me. So I have this ministry. So people don't have to like what's going on here. I don't care. Remember, it says, if you're loved by the world, you be hated by Father. So I'm not here to make friends with the world. I know I don't act like most people. I don't want to be like most people. I don't do what most people do. So that's okay. I'm not trying to get anybody to be me. You know what I'm saying? There's no ghost in the clouds, you dumbass poos. You're an idiot. You know that, Poos? I don't go after gods in the sky, Poos. You wrote all that. You got all that going, and you wrote all that down, okay? There's no gods in the sky. My Father is right here inside of me, not in the sky. Dead people don't come from the sky. Think how stupid these religious people are. People are in heaven when it says the dead raised from the ashes and the dust. They think they're going to fall out of the sky when it says that they, remember what fallen are. Remember what fallen are. Fallen from the word, just like you. You don't know the word at all. Father's the word, not some cloud, not something in the sky. He created the stars. He didn't come from the stars. Poos, you're full of shit. You know that? You're full of crap. Dung, feces. So you don't know what you're talking about. There is no gods in the sky. That's what religions believe. That's what religions do to people. So all that writing was for nothing. You just wasted your time. You're just full of it. I don't go after a god in the sky. The kingdom of God of heaven is within. The body is the temple. It says, use your brain. You got two of them right there. Two temples on the side of your head. Start using them. Remember Revelation? I come quickly, let no one take your crown. Remember, they put a crown of thorns upon his head, the keys to knowledge. He's got the keys to hell. Hell is knowledge. You know that? It's right here. If you'll define the words that are in the book. Knowledge. Hell is no knowledge. Heaven is knowledge. You die and go to knowledge. No. Ever heard of the Big Bang? All right, you're out of here. Take your bang Jesus somewhere else. Jesus is Satan. The New Year's does not start in the middle of the winter. Stop it. You're an idiot. Okay. Anyways, thank you, brothers, sisters. I'm going to go on. I have to do what I have to do out here. I love the trolls, brothers, sisters. This is what makes this ministry what it is. If we didn't have the trolls, I'm not saying that you guys don't put scripture in here, but that's what the trolls are about. We bounce off the trolls. That's what makes this ministry what it is. If we just narrowed them out here, we wouldn't. Half the conversation wouldn't have to talk. I bounce off of their comments. That's what makes the ministry what it is. I troll the trolls. They think they're going to come in here and get me hooked like a J. There is no J. So I troll the trolls. I let them off when I want to. It's my mistake to fish them more than 2 times, right? Fishers of men. cast the nets down deep. The net knows what the catches. It only does the job of the net. Correct? Father condemns. He separates the wheat from the chaff. Righteous judgment is what it's called, brothers, sisters. Righteous judgment. Okay? So that's all I'm doing in here, and I correct people, and I expect you to correct me. If I make a mistake, you are supposed to reproof me. The word is supposed to be, we're there to correct each other with the word. Reproof. That's what it's there for. So that's all I'm doing. Not doing anything different, am I? No, I'm doing what Father tells me to do. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm doing what Father tells me to do, not what the world tells me to do. The world tells me it's 2026, and they're spinning at the faster than the speed of sound on a freaking block or a ball. And that's not aligned with the scripture. Is it? Does it say that you live in a box? Remember what happens when you unfold a box, you get a cross. Nobody ever hung on crosses. That's how I know that I'm dealing with somebody who's never supped with a word. Remember? Does anybody want to hang you from a tree? He said, follow after me. You ever read the book of Acts? You ever study Roman torture? People send themselves to hell, brothers, sisters. That's what happens, is that self-will, no free will. Oh, your name could have been written in the book of life, but it doesn't say name. It's not Bob or Terry. That's not what it is. He said, have your lamps trimmed and be girded in my service. Believe is an action word. It's a verb, not a noun. So you can't turn goats into sheep. Remember, brothers, sisters? You'll know them by their fruit. Bunch of fruit cakes, bad apples. One bad apple like leaven. Leavens the whole lump like cream, rises to the top, brothers, sisters. Remember, we're equally yoked under this covenant. It's always been here since the beginning of time. The measure you pour out on others, do on others as you would have returned on you. Right? It's always been here. So Father does not want you to sup with vipers. Don't hang out with people that are low energy. They'll rub off on you. They will. They'll rub off on you. It's like going to a trap house, a crack house, a whorehouse with $10 in your pocket and think that's not going to rub off on you. She's going to say, I'll rub you wrong time. $10. What do we get for $10? She's going to say anything you want. You'll be anything? She's going to be, ask me, right? Yeah. Don't sup with vipers, brothers, sisters. You're not supposed to fornicate with those that are, you're going to cheat on Father if you start adding to his word. That's why he divorced his bride, because they cheated on his word, went after gods in the sky. That's exactly what they're doing today. That's what they're doing today. They're going after deities, calendar worship. They're changing perversion. The last thing he said to us was, don't add or take away from my word, or you'll send yourself to hell. You'll gnash teeth. You'll send yourself to hell, brothers, sisters. Nobody else is going to do it to you. Father's testing you, not tempting you. He's testing you. He's testing your faith to see if you'll lash out and seek vengeance. Go back to the old view, the Old Testament. Yeah, he does it to me. Remember, he brought 25 men with guns, shot my windows out, shot my son, kidnapped my daughter, tear gassed me, shot my animals. And did I lash out at any one of them? No. Every one of us went with our hands in the air, did we? Yes, we did. No, they even shot my son with his hands in the air, didn't they? Yes, they did. Did any one of us seek vengeance? No, not any one of us have since, have we? No, we have not. Not plotted, not done nothing, just moved on. Did I sue anybody? No. Have I been scarred for life? Yes. That's why I have to go tomorrow and get an MRI on my freaking head, because blasted in the face with a grenade. Did I go do something to them? Did I lash out at them? No. I'm not going to sit there and let these people bring and drag me down. Although it's difficult, I hate this life. I don't want to be here. I have to endure to the end if I want to be with Shiloh. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till he returns. And so to be saved, you have to take your very last breath in agonizing pain and just suck it up and drive on, and your treasure awaits, period, brothers, sisters. That's just the way it works. You might not like it, but that's how it works. A bird cannot achieve lift without resistance, and he's lifting you up. He's beating the impurities out of you. If there's like clay, we're supposed to be molded. He molds us through a long process. Be as esteemed as potter's clay, turn their works upside down. If you even had an air pocket or any impurity and he put you in judgments, the final fire, you'd break. You'd just be worthless. He'd have to throw you back. Remember? Let him mold you. Let him beat you. He's beating the earth out of you. The earth is a rule. He's beating you because he loves you. That's right. It's a spiritual beating, brothers, sisters. He's beating. This definition is everything. So take the time to study. Father is the Word. It should make you very easily see that this is just a test. It's not a permanent. We're all eternal. You're not here in this meat suit for just a speck of time. You can't trade that time to spend to be a disciple. Follow after me, take up your cross daily, deny yourself daily. My disciples, take up your cross, follow after me. So only the disciples will have their names called out in the book of life. Only the ones that stand up to the sins of the world. Not your sins, because you can't keep your legs closed because you think the word of the day is legs and you want to spread the word, right? Or you think with your big head and you can't keep your, you can't keep your head in your pants or whatever. It's like a snake. You just want to make it dance with a flute. You're a plumber. You want to lay pipe all day. Father is not concerned about the fact that you have, some problem and I'm not saying it's right. Don't steal. You know what he doesn't want you to steal is somebody's innocence. I'm sure he can forgive you for stealing something, which I'm not telling you to take anything. The measure you pour out will be returned on you. If you take something from here, it will be returned twice on you. Remember, sozo, to be healed on the other end. So I don't recommend taking anything from anybody, but stealing somebody's innocence by telling them that God loves everybody, that's not, any of those are not truth. There is no Jesus. Stop saying that. Stop adding to the word. He said, don't do that. That is society, brother, sister. They're going to tell you this is okay, and it's not okay with Father. That's what's different about why this mother of all channels makes this channel different. Because these other channels are going to tell you, oh, it's all right. Just ask for forgiveness. No, the word is what rebukes a man. You can't rebuke anybody. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That has no value. It doesn't mean anything. That's vain. The sins of the world is pointing out people like that, brothers, sisters. They're sinning against Father's word. He said, don't add or even a period. So he's punctual. Don't add to time. Don't add letters. Don't add thoughts. Don't add jot, a period, or even a comma to what has already been written. He does not want that. He is very, very straightforward about that. He just makes it did not speak with marbles in his mouth. So people who cannot take correction, they're an ass. They make asses of themselves, like a goat that's stubborn, that just does not want to move, doesn't want to learn. That is how most people are going to be. And that's what religions do to people too, just so you know. Not trying to, I think the most vain people on this rock are religious people, because they are to be the first people he deals with when they come back, the false teacher. I'm not saying don't say God's word, don't speak his words, don't speak Father's words, but, because you have to. Don't boast because but well, if you don't go share the light, but you'd be better off not saying anything. Because if you make even the smallest mistake, you will go to be without that knowledge, because that's what hell is. It's not below your feet. That's not what hell is. You're already there. So stay in the word, focus. If I can do it, I don't have any attachment to anything on this rock. Nobody. Nothing. Nothing in the flesh. Father has taken everything. I only have a dog and a cat. And, dogs don't go to heaven. So I'm not worried about, I don't have anything here. There's nothing in this life for me except for the word. Everything else is trash. So don't think you're going to come in here and sway me in any way, shape, or form. This is my love. This is what I do. This is what he made me do. I don't do this because I want to. I don't want to do this. I'd like to take a dirt nap and rest. I'm not afraid of dying. I die every day to self, spiritual death. So death I'm not afraid. My day of death's already written. But I know I need to do what I need to do while I'm here. Because just like Noah prayed with Father, he had a relationship, he talked to him for 126 years, he still had to build the boat. Or none of us would be here. So do what it is that you need to do, brothers, sisters. Okay? Loins girded in my service, he said, believing in me. Believe is an action word. Maranatha, until I return. Shiloh, the scepter shall not depart from Judah till Shiloh returns. Do what Father is telling you to do. I don't have to tell you what to do. He's probably already got a voice inside your head that's been nagging you to do something that you're not doing. Start doing it. Or stop. There's something that you've been doing that's he irritating the living piss out of him. You won't stop. Stop it. Cut it off. He's right there inside you. You don't have to go to a temple or a church. Isn't that beautiful? He's right there inside of you, brother, sister. He's there all along. It's called the age of accountability. And it won't go away if you feed it, nurture it, listen to it, do what it tells you, and you will see that it's not going to be easy, but it will be that much closer to Father. It's beautiful. I love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, have a relationship with him. He's the Word. He's not some deity in the sky. So the more relationship you have with the Word, the closer you will be to Father. One step at a time. Narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Narrow is the way that leads to that straight gate, brothers and sisters. Straight is the gate. Okay? All right. Let's wrap it up. I went way too long. That's okay. I don't care. All for the ministry. So this all could burn to the ground, blow away. Who knows? You guys are going to be with me on the other end. Sorry, I'm getting kind of a upset stomach here. So I got to get something in my belly. Thank you for your time. Links to the description. You want to support the ministry. We had a large tithe yesterday. I want to thank the ministry for that tithe. That makes it a little bit easier to swallow, to get one more closer step to having that. Don't leave anything here as far as the tithe, if it's going to take from your household. Go give it to somebody closer to you, local to you. If you've got somebody, if it's not a large amount, please don't tithe this ministry. Tithe to somebody in your area. Help yourself out. Okay, guys, the ministry, we're so close to being done here. So Father will push this over the edge. I'm sure he will. He's going to. I know it. I know it. I know it. He's going to help me. Maybe I'm doing the efforts. Remember, Noah built the boat. I've got that truck up and up it goes. So maybe it'll sell today, and I can move forward from there. So exciting for this ministry. 2 days, guys. 2 days until the electrical engineer comes out. So I'm going to go do some things around here. I'll see you before the end of the day, possibly. If not, we'll see you on the next live stream. If not, I'll have to see it in Hokadesh in spirit. Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.